in the world.
I believe I ended up knocking Sam out like 7th or 8th.
That is not how I play. I've done a lot of work with traveling vloggers and poker star celebrity types. But what we're putting together here,
Kind of switched this place over a little bit from a PLO exclusive card house to a no limit card room too.
Scotland brought the heat the last time he was here on Live at the Palms and Downhill. And JD, so... Alright, so we've got Fox, Sammy, Scotland, and JD gonna make the call. Street Fighter, are there mics on the table? There typically is. I'm not sure if it's not picking up the sound volume, but I noticed on the last live stream, for some reason, until the night was done, I did not know that we did not even have the table audio. So I know some of the folks that just want to catch up some of the chatter secondhand, or at least hear the hashtag chip clatter as... Right now, an open-ender for Scotland Fox here with the only diamond in hand as we will rattle off to a 5-ball. Four-way action, Scotland, the opener here as we continue. Looks like it's going to go 125. All right, we'll pick up here to the next stand. Hopefully we can see if we can get at least some of the ambiance out here in the room again. So, all right, we are currently on Poker Atlas. So if you're looking to get on the list for any of our games here at Palm Social, again, that is now active on the Poker Atlas app. If you check out for our tournament section, you will see here on Thirsty Thursdays, I believe we're still running the $1,500 added to the prize pool free roll on Thursday night. I'm going to confirm we're still going after it, but right now here currently in the room, we've got a full 1-3 game along to go with our 5-10. So... Okay, there it is. Table audio now. Thank you. Awesome. We know sometimes you can't always hear it clearly, but you at least love to catch the vibe of the room. So Scotland's going to call here with Jack 10. It's going to come out 9-9 Dewey. JC here with position on Scotland is going to go check, and chewing and betting, always a dangerous sign. And unless Scotland really wants to go to war here, it is most likely a check fold spot. So, all right, you got your boy Trey there, rocking the Saints hat. Maybe be keeping eyes and ears on that throughout the night. Invite you to hit the like, click, subscribe, continue to help grow our channel. Now, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, there's a lot more ways for us to be able to get our message out there, help continue to grow this live stream into... Yeah, hey, the path that we hope to be able to see it grow at. So, I'm not necessarily here to make this stream one of those make a bajillion, like, let's get 50,000 people to watch. Like, you know, a good, steady audience really enjoys mid to high stakes poker. Pot Limit Omaha's, we typically stream on Wednesdays. So, we need folks like you stepping up to support us. All right, next hand here tonight. It is going to be JC opening here in the cutoff late position, 10-8 offsuit, attacking the double straddle, and Sammy here at the small blind going to make the call. Then let's do this. Here we go. It is going to be a gutter ball now for JC. Got the old range advantage, hashtag range advantage. It's kind of the default thing you have to say when a guy bets in position. Sammy not a believer just yet though, so looking for a turn. That is going to come out the ace, so JC could have the option to check back here, but more aces probably in his hand than what Sammy would have, but probably more fearsome that Sammy has a hand that even if JC decides to barrel out, it's just... There's more expectations for him to be sticky in this spot than there is for him to just check fold, but... And I think this... I mean, literally fives would be the best case scenario for JC if he was deciding to try to go barrel turn there, because I think he could reasonably expect any diamonds would make the call. JC, though, with 10 of diamonds in hand. And he is going to go for the raise. JC sensing weakness. Intent and focused. Man has got a life of clean living, and it's really a superior decision making here on the end to blast off for Sammy. Yeah, David Pratt does a double gutter. Yeah. That, for some reason, that part of my mind escaped me too. So probably for that reason, for JC to just try to go berserk there on turn, which I think if you're gonna have like an edge in these kind of games, or like what really constitutes like mastery, when I see some of the better players, it's just being able to change speeds at a drop of a win versus punting off money, and that's why JC is one of the most dangerous out there, man. All right, we'll continue. Your boy Bones. Welcome back, Bones, here to the live stream streets of Palm Social. Here with the raise up to 300 as we got the 25, 50, 100 triple straddle being put out, and could get multi-way action here between Ace Jack and 9-7. So downhill's just gonna rip right over the top here, as you don't see that every day. JC gonna beat him into the pot here with pocket tens. We have ourselves a good old-fashioned tournament-like flip as overs versus a pair. Can't say these guys aren't trying to create some action here. So, all right, top seven, a straight draw. The straight draw gets there. 8 to queen. We need a board pair. It is going to be the brick. Yes, 5 of them all. So the first run out going to go to downhill. Playing downhill here tonight. Second board. I see a 9. It is... Well, 10's going to be holding on for dear life at this point. Clinging to hope just to chop this one up. And it is the 8 on the end. So chop it up. 10s versus Ace Jack. Second run out going to come clean here for pocket 10s. And they'll split up some of the straddle. There's a little bit out there, but a hell of a wild move to get going one of the first couple of hands of the night. Your boy Carlo, the chat is here. The chat is here. So what up, gang? What's going on, good friend Carlo? Legendary. I mean, just one of the OG chappers around the Austin parts. So appreciate you showing your face around here. Alrighty, again, we've got links in the description. We put a new highlight reel up today with the hands from last Monday with Bart Hansen. And let me tell you, if you didn't see that stream, freaking believable. The amount of motion that was happening on there. We had 200, 400 straddles going on. And I don't know, all the YouTube titles are like the biggest pot I've ever played. But I mean, these are some big boys out there. And yes, I do read YouTube titles in exactly that kind of voice. So you can understand why I get very tired sometimes. David Pratt, Mike, when are you going to put Dunks in the booth with you? My dog, I have still... I think it's going to be like another year or two yet before he's just not all full of puppy energy and he's just kind of like, oh, this place is cool. I'll sit down now. If we got him here in the booth, he would want to smell like every inch of this place to scope it out. Yeah, and especially if we had Bones in the game, like all of a sudden he would just start looking around like, Bones? Where's my bone? Can I have bone? What is this bone you speak of? So, at some point, and hopefully we have a Dunks cam by that point in time, so. This is Sammy here with the open to 100. We're going to get JD with the defend out of the straddle. Number of his friends suggesting that he may also be here to steal wives and girlfriends. I don't know. I don't know the guy that well. Maybe he is that kind of dude, but I would like to think not. We're all relatively moral people. We got trip aces here. Seven's up here for JD. Sammy with the best hand. Bet of 100, call of 100, and we'll see if Sammy is able to find a river card that can get him some value on the end. As alright, ace is full of nines. JD can reasonably assume Sammy can have some queen jack, jack tens, potentially worse sevens, but it's also like if you're trying to find bluff candidates too, that it's just so polarized to the point like he either just has absolutely nothing or just the second, third nut, fourth nut, somewhere in there. It's JD with a curiosity call and Sammy paying off here with a $300 bet on the end. Keep it going here on Live at the Palms in Austin, Texas. Your boy, Mike Youngblood, is getting ready to see us on the Crushed Live Poker channel. Bart Hanson was doing a demonstration of some of the highlights of the hands that happened during that point in time. So maybe finding some new faces out here. We stream on Mondays and Wednesdays. And the occasional Saturday. Probably can expect some more Saturday shows in the future here as... Nonetheless, bread and butter Monday and Wednesday night. PLO, Pot Limit Omaha, 2-5. And if you really love bingo and you love guys just jamming all in and seeing crazy shit happening, like the 2-5 PLO is actually a fantastic watch. So here comes the Fox. Fox with a raise up here to 200 and got Shy back in the game. Scotland here going to make the call as well with pocket fours. Let's go heads up here. Gonna come out King High, 2 diamonds. Fox here with enough of a hand that will try to continue that. But Scotland with bottom set. So get your popcorn ready and see what approach he decides to do. 2 of the wilder players there on the table, and Scotland's gonna stoke the fire. He's gonna invite Fox to get crazy. Would expect reasonably a call, but sometimes we do. Oh, wow, he's actually going to give it up. A reasonable fold here in that spot. It was a pretty hefty price to call out of position. I'm almost sure, like, nut diamonds, queen, or jack high diamonds, most likely going to continue, but Fox is taking some ups and downs, and nice part about this live stream, you can always go back after the fact, look at some of the hands and go, okay, I could do this, I could do that, and there you go. Freeform Aggie says 2-5 PL YOLO. Mixed Game Mike here in the house from Rounders Live saying let's go Bones. I was preoccupied that last Thursday. Miss would sound like a pretty good game down there. Bones, DQ, Wolfgang, Ronda, think Chaz was in that as well. Fox here with a raise up to 175 with the Cowboys. Big boy game here tonight, but we have seen a ton of double straddles, ton of action, and Sai gonna make the call. Does overpair way good. Sex size not gonna get too nuts with this, so. But as I say that, I am just proven terribly wrong yet again. I believe we had Sai betting this to 325, and then Fox, the first action was a check, but Fox opting for the check raise on the 9-high board with no spades in hand, and Sai getting caught speeding, but gonna be just a very small ticket for the price of that. As Dave Pratt said, played a bit with the Wolfgang last night, so the rounder stream was a blast. Yeah, it sounded like you guys were doing a ton of drinking, which is always a good time. I mean, David Pratt saying, Mike, this is Sai you're talking about. Yeah, that's true. My dad had one specific thing he always highlighted when he was a basketball coach and I was a player. When it came to, hey, know your personnel. I just would say KYP, know your personnel. If you know a guy's not a three-point shooter, don't throw it to him when he's wide open there. If you know he can finish, throw it to him down there. So I greatly underestimated Sai's ability to go nuts. My apologies, folks. I'll be releasing a statement here to the media shortly. The publicist right now is getting flooded with a great number of just vehemently angry responses right now, but please respect my privacy here on this time. Top pair here for Fox is JC here with middle pair as well. Backdoor clubs. JC here going to make the call, and Fox opting for the check raise strategy here tonight, and clean enough board to do it on. Trey gonna get denied the right to continue, and JC realizing, well, what the hell can I beat or potentially draw to that is gonna make my night even better? JC gonna make the fold, and we'll keep on keeping on here at Live at the Palms. Mike Gemblet here with you in the house. Producer Sonny. Action Tracker Q, executive producer, owner, Sam Von Kennel. And we're just about 20 minutes into this bad boy. Again, check out the latest highlight reel that we added to the channel just this late afternoon. Every click matters, folks. There might be some soul out there that loves live streaming poker. That might become their favorite show, but never gets to find it because that one like that could have made a difference to push over to make Little Billy become the biggest Palm Social fan ever. Well, we want to make sure Little Billy finds his way here to our channel. So appreciate your guys' support. Hit like and subscribe. JD here with the open to 175. Sammy with sixes. JC with jack ten of spades. And let's do this three different directions. Whoosh. Jack squat for the majority of these players. Not going to stop JC though. He's got backdoor spades, backdoor straight draw. Sammy here with a mid pair of sixes. Gonna make the call here. Let's see if JC improves. Wow, that is what we call an improvement. Goodness gracious, that is a royal flush draw now here for JC. And I almost hope he doesn't bet just so we can see a river card. But I know JC's not going to do that because he's awesome. So I guess potentially putting max pain on any weak diamond draws or any potential king 8, king 9, king 10 kind of hands that... And here JC, yeah, with another hand that he's attacking that really can't withstand a lot of punishment. Sammy's still pretty deep though, so even with like 1.2k to call, still leaves 5k on the river, but it's just a little too much. David Pratt, Billy, quote, we were talking to Billy, but Billy, stick with me. I'll show you how to have a life of degeneracy, shocking disappointment, occasionally punctuated with fleeting moments of joy. Well, you just described poker pretty much in a nutshell. Pretty much right on the money. Kevin and Sarah Groddick, JC came to play. Freeform Aggie always bets draws. I wouldn't say always. It is a kind of a player-dependent part where I think you'll find JC will have more maneuvers that are the aggressive variety with more frequency. But when you have a player like Sammy that is not afraid to call you lightly, I think you have to operate with a more intense focus and just balls to the wall kind of mentality. So, and he's one of the sharpest guys who figuring out how to do that really effectively. I won't sit there and pretend to tell you that I could do all of those things, and that's a simple thing, and there aren't mistakes along the way when players try to really maximize what they can do, but goddamn, this JC guy doesn't do it all the time.
I knew we were fucked when this moose was sitting there fucking telling me they're gonna blow him out.
Weather here on Monday night is a beautiful day in Austin, Texas. Felt like summertime today. We're getting back into fall time. I was shifting into soup mode. Best time of the year when you could start making soups, watching football. And then all of a sudden it still feels like a summertime day. And no complaints. No complaints, but a little sweaty. All right, 5, 10, 25, 50. Great lineup here, guys. All right, we have Trey opening with the 8 of spades, 8 of diamonds. Scotland just going to call out of the straddle, as I think he can reasonably expect, even if he does try to go the aggressive path, he might just get called in 2 different spots anyway. Come out, the overpair here for Trey. Fox with 6s and 4s. could be compelled to probably call Trey's continuation bet, or he can opt to try to take the lead himself, and that's exactly what he's going to do. All right, we've got a 3-ball, which will give Fox a straight. Trey is still with the best of it. Come out 275, though, then Trey not going to be pushed out of it just yet. 1.4K pot as we go to the end. It is an ace on the river by Barrett Greenstein. And unless Trey really feels like Fox would do this with, say, ace 4 of clubs, ace 5 of clubs, ace X of something, he is going to make the snap call on the end. The only thing, the only thing it would definitely fear would be ace high clubs getting there, but based on how that's played out, Trey making the decision to bluff catch the river, a decent sized platform. We'll keep going here live at the Palms. It is Monday night, 5:10 night, and this is where the big game is at. So, may have been familiar, the old program that we used to do. Probably still exists, but now here Monday night, that's, well, where some of the high stakes action has shifted here. So, that is the way she goes. So, hopefully continue to build fantastic lineups that we've gotten so accustomed to seeing here in the Austin area on Monday nights. And excited about the future, man. If we can continue to build some great games, hopefully get some more high-stakes games where players want to play really big, like, dude, we can do that. And I'm excited for it. I know I say it all the time, but it is a beautiful life, folks. So, what do we have going on? Bones opening with the Jack-8 of spades. We will get calls in 4 different places. And Sammy here with Trip King, so nobody with really much to go to war with him on. So, all right, it is going to get checked through a second time, and nobody taking the bait just yet, and nobody with really any showdown value to speak of. Yep, is going to be Sammy showing that he was holding the goods the entire time, but nobody wanted to take him up on that. For a good reason here, too. So, again, my name is Mike Emblet. You can follow us on Instagram at PalmSocial512. You can check us out here on the Poker Atlas app. Well, you can get yourselves on the list. We are done with Tempest Portal. Tempest Portal is no more. It was a nice run, but, you know, when you can opt to go with the big boys. Love our future here, folks. Let's give us a look here. We got Sammy opening now here to 200, and what else do we have happening here? Looks like Fox had limped off the straddle and is now going to go heads up here with Sammy. Going to come out 10-8-8. A straight flush draw now here for Sammy. Living on top of the world here in our first early session here tonight. Hopefully everything's sounding great out there. We appreciate your guys' feedback. During these live streams, you can join us in the chat. Leave us a comment if you're watching on the archive. Always love to hear from everybody, as David Pratt says, my dog is utterly enraptured by the stream. She's staring at my speaker. Do you have a gift? Well, that's very good. You're a very good dog. Do you like the pets? Okay, I know how to speak dog. I've been studying it here for the last good solid year and a half, and we got another great night here. Here we are with straddles continuing to juice up the action.
Very soft. Very consistent. 100% fourth and two. That's like fourth and 3.5. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I agree. Oh, that's a phenomenal.
Downhill, Fox and Trey going to go three different directions. It is going to come out ace king deuce, so middle pair for downhill. Fox and Trey have completely whiffed on this. I don't think this is going to go much of any other different directions than everybody folds, but I'm always proven wrong time and time and again here. As
Oh, I miss Gabe Kaplan. He's so good. The old school high school. No one was as good as they are now. I'd still rather listen to him than anyone. So much fun to watch. Yeah, Kaplan's from that Norman Chad school.
all right, what else do we have happening here? Again, we have our high hand of the day. And each and every day on our cash games, that if you hand qualifies the best hand of the day, that's again $100 on us. Also got the quads promo that any quads and no limit hold'em, at least with 2 cards in play, will earn yourself a free monthly membership, and I believe it is 8s or higher, quad 8s or higher in Pot Limit Omaha, which, you know, happens fairly frequently, right?
Yeah, the tilt's a lot different. 9 raises to 500, so if you're at 1 fold, 3 hands, and then he opens a jack. Loses his mind. No, I didn't. I just got some 15,000. He makes it 55. Yeah, everyone's so well mannered now.
JC here with the open with aces.
500. Do you realize how much money that is?
And off we go. 6-4-3. It is brick. And a complete whiff here for Trey. JC hoping to let his opponent catch up just a little bit. The old 8 of spades on the turn. Now JC hunting for some value. Afraid he's not going to find it anywhere, though. Trey, though, going to make the call with ace high, so proven wrong yet again. 9 of spades on the end. see JC going for one more river bet. There's a lot less that Trey can feel like he's beating at this point, but Trey's going to do the old check fold and a very solid $1,400 pot now for JC. All right, flying solo back here, also doing a little technical stuff here as juice up this little thumbnail that we see here on the YouTube stream. All right, this straddles a healthy dose of the night. All right, it's going to come out all diamonds. King Jack 9. It is a flop flush for downhill and Psy. Psy on the lower side of things. Downhill also with a redraw to the straight flush. And the 3 of diamonds may save Psy here as a ton more hands that are way the hell ahead of his, and 5 ball in the end's not going to change up anything. So this could have been massive, but it winds up being just moderate damage here between these two players. Ooh, that could have been crazy. Could have been just absolutely freaking berserk, but it winds up being a relatively small pot. We'll keep it going here. Mike Imlet, the dude talking. You can follow me at Hoops Mike on Instagram and Twitter. Doing a little bit more tweeting and posting. Lots of stuff going on there, man. Follow us on Instagram as well, at PalmSocial512. Links in the description to a website. And let's go to the next hand. So we've got JD raising up to 200. It's going to be between JD, JC, and Fox. Nobody pairs, but first aggressor will likely have the chance to just be able to pick this one up. Fox here sensing that JD doesn't have to have... Oh, so, excuse me. Oh, trying to do too many things at once. JD's got 2 pair. Queens and 4s with a 10. Fox, suspecting that's not the case, is going to try to raise him off of it. And Fox going to slow down here after his race is called on flop. And pair of 6s. And it is going to be Queens and 4s here with 10 for JD. We'll try to induce the bluff, and Fox is going to go try to attack, and I don't think it is going to work as fairly simple check call on the spot, and I think JD thankfully didn't see a queen with a better kicker in that spot. Those. Kind of thought I maybe had a color guy lined up, but just as it goes, sometimes we're not quite able to line that up. So I'm sorry, you got to listen to me talk, just trying to ramble at you about poker. So we always appreciate your guys' topics to help keep the mood light. Things that you're paying attention to in the poker world. Hey, shout out to our boy Kevin Rand. Kevin Rand relocated out to California. Taking a good job there. I was able to be closer to family. Well, he finished pretty deep in the $3,000 limit hold'em six-handed event. I think got down to the final 12 and finished 11th. So was happy to sweat that throughout the night and try to send the heat in the group text. Always because it's fun, especially during the WSOP time where you're just trying to sweat friends. And I think as you get to know more people, there becomes more people to be like, oh, that guy's deep in the tournament. I'll check that out. JD attacking the straddles on the button to 150. They're just going to flop. No, nothing. They're just going to be top pair with a 10 here for Fox. There's 3-ball here, which does turn a spade drawn out for JD. Bet at 250 and we will see what a river comes flush draw versus 2-pair. And make it top 2 now here for Fox. So he takes a lead, hoping to get some value out of it. He is not going to get a wooden nickel. So join us here for our 2-5 pot limit Omaha. Unbelievable bingo fest on Wednesday. This has been a very entertaining game. Yeah, Pats have been just ridiculously absurd. I'm going to hopefully get the highlight reel from the 6-way all-in. It's like a $21,000 pot. That was absolute madness, and hopefully whittle it down so that while we're counting up all the action, you can skip all that stuff. Take in the degeneracy, the gamble, and all the good stuff. So, 25 straddles, side calling. Scotland's woken up with kings. And we got a bevy of beautiful hands here. All right, we've got 4-way action. King's the predominant favorite, of course, but see if it gets wrecked. Downhill actually folded 7-6 of clubs in the spot and didn't opt to go call the raise and put a flop trip 7. So Scotland with the massive advantage side could run out hearts, I guess, but that's really the only player with any hope of contention, and that's probably going to do it. Jenny can check us here on the Poker Atlas app that We have done away with the old Tempest Portal app. So if you're looking to find the games and get on the list, Poker Atlas is the way to go.
Good thing you did it right. The whole time I was thinking about, I was like, how much I can make it, and then I last time. Good thing I couldn't wait. When he led the river. I was like, please raise and he called. I was like, 6-7 times.
All right, next hand here is the straddles. Continue with the 15th. The tray is not going to open here with the 8-7 of hearts.
I knew you wanted to fucking. It's a hard hand for me to just call. I'm very surprised. Top 2 and you had the word.
All right, we get a 3-bet out of the small blind, and we'll see. Tray going to a flop. It looks favorable at the start. It's going to be a pair and a straight drop with all spades. We do not know what Fox has, so let's take a look, hopefully. All right, so we do wind up turning a straight here for Trey. We do not know if Fox has a spade in hand. Not Trey has got the best of it. River's going to come out of 3 of diamonds, so we will go checky. Trey's going to show him this board working out a little bit better for him, so I guess Fox's hand will always remain a mystery. I'm just going to have to bug him about it after the fact. Hey, man, what the hell did you have here?
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Freddie Flintstone. 2 fold. 3 fold.
All right. About to upload this new thumbnail onto the video. I think it is fire, folks. I hope it is fire. Plenty of great poker action here for us tonight. Hit like and subscribe if you have not done so yet. Sitting at about 854 subscribers, trying to get up to 1K, and then we start doing some super chats. Then we can really get off and running here, folks. Now we're in business. Now we're starting to. Now we've got ourselves a legit live stream. And all right, we've got King 8-5, top pair for Sammy. Trey has made second pair. At least going to float 1 bet. Nine ball here on the turn. Not much in the way of improvement here for Trey. Sammy again with King. Weak kicker is not afraid to bet it. Going to go up here at least 475, about half size pot bet. Trey still maybe believing that there's some hope that maybe Sammy could have, say, like a club draw. is going to wind up at least getting to the river and just saying, no, I was behind the whole time. So decent one here for Sammy. And we will keep driving the action here tonight on Live at the Palms, Monday night high stakes, 5 to 10 uncapped. We had a bonkers game last week, which you want to check out the highlight reel that is up currently here on the channel. Just not with the hands involving Bart Hansen. May have some more to add to that also here in the future. So. We got JD opening up to 150. Then we'll see Fox continue. Sammy's going to make the call. We will also get, let's see, downhill with King Jack of Hearts. And off we go. King 9 at deuce with 2 spades. Gut shot for Sammy. And downhill with the best pair. King with a jack kicker. Is going to lead that to JD betting, so he'll be getting a customer here from downhill with the best of it. JD really with only backdoor straight draw, backdoor diamonds. Well, can also make a 7, so. JD, just like Texas football, all gas, no brakes here at this point. There's fires 800. Downhill could potentially perceive there to be some spade draws. There are some potentially better kings, or King Jack, King 10. Maybe even King 9 could be trying to go straight for value. Ace King, certainly not out of the realm of possibility, but seems to. Oh, no, it is going to be runner 7. Downhill's not going to be able to see this one coming. I take that back. Ace King probably not likely, but still just a sick run out here as JD had virtually no hope. And I we're saying that again. JD was actually the opening raiser, so Ace King's not out of the realm of possibility, and he's going to go up to 2.5, and we may need to pause and see the reaction if downhill calls here and sees a 7 flipped up. I have seen people lose their shit for much, much less. But he might have the chance to get away from it. And there was only 1,200 in this pot to the turn. Then it was built up by an 800 bet and 800 call. So what? We had a $2,800 pot just underneath pot. 2.5 into 2.8. So a perplexing spot for downhill to be. On one hand, you could see ace high spades definitely opting to fire a bullet this way, but He's going to show it to him, and no reaction from downhill other than probably Simon and Garfunkel's The Sound of Silence. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. All right, not necessarily my best Art Garfunkel at any point in time, but I don't think anybody was expecting that. All right, grimy one there, but JD gonna get the max from going runner. Never funner. Street Fighter saying ouch. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only correct response is ouch. That is just a bit of a kick in the nuts, but that is the game of poker sometimes.
175.
Monday night, 5:10, uncapped. Straddles galore here tonight, so I encourage you to stick with us. And again, hit that like button and click subscribe. And was trying to look on the soundboard to see if there's anything that was remotely appropriate for that specific situation. JC here now with the open and middle position up to 125. Downhill taking it in stride. I don't know how many players you could say would be able to take a punch to the stomach like that. And carry on to the next hand as if, okay, that's just the game.
Oh yeah, there's at least on the football game sound. If there's a cat music.
Really silent first hour. We saw Scotland the last time of this live stream go for some pretty huge bluffs. He was getting pretty wild, and we'll see if he gets the window of opportunities to be able to go attack, or if he's maybe changing up things a little bit tonight. Either way, we will have a dealer change. Thank you so much. Again, you can visit our website, palmssocialclub.com. If you want a little bit learn more about us, again, located here at 9070 Research Boulevard. Here in good old-fashioned Austin, Texas. Again, we also have a new member promotion, so if you've never played here before, boom, we're going to give you a free 1-month membership on us and 3 hours of free play. I don't know if you can find a deal better than that. Just you want to splash around the 1-3 game. We got some PLOs, some 1-2-5 that spreads fairly regularly here. We want you to come out and take advantage of the action. Street Fighter asking what's your favorite eats in the plaza. I haven't gone there yet, but the seafood place that's around the corner, I think probably is awesome. I've not had it, but if I had to go by the restaurants I've actually ate here, it's probably Pluckers, but I still need to make the rounds and check out all these different places. All right, we've got Sammy opening with King, Scotland. Mama, there goes that man with a 3-bet up here to 475. And we'll drive out Bones. See if Sammy decides to set a trap. He's not going to play this slow in any way, shape, or form. Is going to pump it right back here to Scotland. Scotland realizing the jig is up, I can't continue. I mean, it's a reasonable move for him to make. Sammy doesn't have to have a hand that's opening there in late position, so I think it's reasonable to expect that there are some hands you can try to attack in position that maybe you get called by marginal and you can go post flop with, but after the next bet, that's not much reason to stay in the fight. Well, holy moly, did you guys watch that LA stream this weekend? Good gracious. What a fantastic day for us all in streaming poker to have gotten to witness that. That was an unbelievable game run out there at the old HCL. So certainly doing some fantastic work. Very entertaining to see that group of play. I mean, it wasn't maybe as awesome as you'd love it to be, but it was still, I don't know, I was at least able to explain to some of my neighbors and people that I was watching with, at least kind of like, this is our industry, man. All right, it is going to come out. Oh, all diamonds here for JC. Excuse me, a diamond draw for JC. And really, the majority, maybe Bones might continue with pocket nines. I think beyond that, everybody else is going to be fine with the fold button. Yeah, Mickey was the GOAT for a while. I wasn't able to watch with a ton of commentary because had ourselves a good little cookout. We're watching baseball. So I had like 2 TVs out in the yard area, grilling and having a pretty good time and trying to keep up with all of it. So, and then I stayed up for the majority of the Saturday one because by the time the nighttime happens, there's really not much going on after like 11, and a lot of the college football games were kind of bust this weekend. So I don't, like geek out on other streams. Sometimes there's somebody on that I'm just like, hey, that seems unique and interesting to check out, and always stuff for us to learn as to, okay, maybe we can mix things up here at Palms with a couple of radical ideas, but okay, we are going to change out our decks, but can't fault anybody for the success. They've done a great job. All right, sorry, but microphone dropping off here as I know I'm talking about another stream, so I'm being physically assaulted. Okay, does mixed game Mike is the ultimate and upstuck. Bought in for 100K, ran it up to $250,000, then lose it back to only plus 8K and leave in a huff. That, that is the stuff that legends are made. It's more interesting when you see like those elite guys like Garrett and Berkey and Ivy, and they're just going up against guys that are just willing to play trash hands. And just trying to see how they can readjust and be put into weird spots with even really the best players are kind of sitting there going, WTF. I mean, Ivy was a bit of a bust. Like, it was cool to see him on that, but like the Dur stream, I think Saturday was relatively compelling just because I think anything that guy does in poker is just absolutely captivating. So if we've got JD 3-betting out of the small blind with 10s, this may whittle down the field unless Trey is feeling some gamble here. And he might with all the money that's out there. Size going to continue. Downhill going to step out. Does we've got a flop here. I know it was scanned. Gonna have three-way action. JD checking here on this board. Gonna come out queen high, two spades. Trey here with the straight and the flush draw. And we might be able to build ourselves a little pot here, huh? My assumption is it's going to be checked over to Trey, who will fire at this like 90% of the time. Don't reasonably expect he's going to have any checkbacks here, and it will work effectively as... JD in no mood to continue with pocket tens in that spot. Tony V, do dealers ever get injured? I mean, from actually dealing, I don't think so. I mean, there over time, sometimes you might hurt wrists, shoulders, elbows, back. I mean, every once in a while, you'll find somebody that just kind of throws their back out. Or, I remember the last place I was, people get tummy aches and owies and, you know, and things like that. But there's not very, usually, and if they do, and if you do wind up getting a sore back, there is a good bet that there is a licensed massage therapist from at Texas Royal Touch there to cure what ails you. So when you ask me, do you ever see any dealers get injured? And I think probably because of the fact that Texas Royal Touch is always around. If you're aching, they've usually got the solution for you. Ace, king, ace, 8, and 10s. Oh, we've got a set here for Trey. Scotland with top pair, top kicker with ace, king. Sammy also with an ace as well. All right, we're frothing at the mouth. Let's get a big pot here. There's got to be blood drawn at some point here tonight. All right, 5-ball turn, so there will be no improvement. Trey has got a hammer lock on this. Scotland now here with the bet with 800. Has also got the King of Hearts blocker, I guess. Potentially work with, but with 2.5K back, I think Trey, he could opt to just make a call 800, but I imagine with the hearts turning that he's going to not opt to play this slow and essentially put Scotland all in, which there might be still some hope he finds a fold button. There still could be sets. There still could be some 2 pairs that has taken this pathway, but be very difficult for me to expect Scotland's going to do that. He is going to rip it, and Trey is going to be able to table a hand that will not be beaten. Unreal here, as we've got an $8,000 pot, a cooler. Scotland with ace king. Rainbow board to start on flop, and then they get it all in on the turn, and Trey gets to profit himself a good $4,200. Again, I'm Mike Yemlick. Glad to be with you here tonight on Live at the Palms. Hopefully you are doing fantastic wherever you are. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. We are trying to get up over 1,000 subscribers, and we need folks like you stepping up. As for now,
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
rookie numbers. So we've got Scotland opening here with a 10-9 of diamonds after a rebuy. Downhill, maybe with a chance to 3-bet here in the hijack. With JD waiting on the wings and the cutoff. Downhill makes the 3-bet to 350. JD going to make the call with the A7 of spades. And you just lose ace king and into a 5 or 8K pot. I don't think you're folding 10-9 suited the next hand. The poker gods would frown upon the. All right, well, we will get the run out. It's going to come out trip 10, so Scotland flopping trip 10s. Opponent's basically drawn to nothing here at this point. Nothing but backdoors. And that's a sealer as trip 10's good. He may be able to get JD for another street. Bet of 525 now as Downhill missed turn, but imagining some scenarios where his hand could still be good.
I've been calling it for months. 85K by Thanksgiving, 120 by Christmas.
Niner's going to come on the end, so 10's full of 9s now for Scotland. Can he get ace high to pay him off here? Gonna opt for 1.5, and that is a hefty pot price, but he could maybe think that maybe Downhill's like 9-8 if he was really trying to 3-bet him that light. Potentially some of the overpairs that could check flop. Jackson Queens, for instance.
By the way, the cool thing about living in Del Valley, come Formula One time, the cars that I fucking drive by, Lambos I see all the time. Whatever color.
Bet of 1.5, and we'll draw the fold. And Scotland working his way back after losing a tough one to trade a little bit earlier. But hey, join us in the comment section. You can also chat with us. Would love to hear from you folks. All around the YouTube sphere. That's 510 night continues here live at the Palms. All right, next hand we've had a, like I've mentioned, we've had a bunch of straddles here. Again, we stream Mondays and Wednesdays. Wednesdays typically our pot limit Omaha night. We will probably start doing some more Saturday streams in the future. So hit subscribe and turn on notifications that way you do not miss any of our fantastic live streams. All right, we got 5-way action after JD, the pre-flop raiser in the hijack. Deuces, 4-3, king, queen, and ace-9 suited. Whoa, that's a big flop there for Fox. Top pair and a flush draw. Wheel draw here for JD. All right, it's now going to come aces up here for Fox. And JD and JC and Trey all with fairly weak straight draws, but there's a 3-ball, so the diamond also getting there. JC's got a straight ace to 5, but Fox has got ace high flush. 2 pair here for JD, so there's a chance he maybe gets called in 2 different spots here. A small price here for JC to make a crying call. 550 into a pot, it'll be 3,800 or 900 or so. Just like, okay. Facial expression said it all. Like, yeah, okay, you have the real hand here, but I don't think you can blame either JD or JC for calling. Fox has been pretty wide for in some of our past streams, but I feel like he's on a much more solid path here tonight. All right, we have got Fox waking up with ace king. JC not a believer in the 9 triz. All right, Trey going to make the call out of one of the straddles with Jack 10. And here it comes. Not much to go for either one of these players. Some backdoors potentially for Trey. Fox. 3 to a straight flush with the queen of clubs. We'll check it down, and queen will turn. So Trey might get the opportunity to attack this. All right, 6 ball on the end, ace, king high, still good, and we will flip it here to showdown. Fox going to win it, and nice run for him tonight. Some up and down, some games, but guy does love to attack, and I think that makes for a great live stream player. There we got the straddles reaching around, looks like all the way to 100. Being put up by JD. It's just your regular 5, 10, 25, 50, a hundo game tonight. All right, Bones here with the open with ace 10 of spades. Been kind of a quiet night for him, but I think with the kind of players that he has directly to his left does not really give him a ton of opportunity to open in probably a free manner that you would like to in some of these games like this. All right, 5-5 deuce is maybe a chance for Bones to pick this one up. All right, king of clubs going to be live for Sai. Unless Sammy tries to go steal this, we will check it down here to the river. It is the ace of clubs. Sammy's main top pair on board. 4 clubs on the board. Sai here with a king high flush. Not flush, of course, being the 4-3 of clubs, but Psy can operate pretty effectively, knowing that that's most likely not out there. So Bones has picked up a pair. He's got aces and fives with a queen, but it's very unlikely for somebody to lead this spot with a hand that could be worse, so he will make the float. Oh, David Pratt saying, I was talking about Mickey. Saying Mickey is back operating a tilt-a-whirl and hanging out with Walter White on the weekends. Post-flop Malone was a legend on Friday. Yeah, that certainly seemed like the case. Psy will not get some river value, but was awfully close. Says, hey, you see, there's Becky here from Texas Royal Touch, also hosts here as well. We've got servers here to help you out. You're trying to get food, or trying to get something to drink. We're the only place in town that offers that kind of service to our players, helping to orchestrate that. So you don't have to get up from the table, have to go put something through an app, like especially any of the places around here at that. The great DQ. What a great lineup tonight. Should be a ton of action with chips flying everywhere. And this man knows about that. Let's bring Max Payne, or boy DQ. We just want to get up to 1,000 subscribers so DQ can just ball in with some super chats. I mean, that would be a great start for us specifically. So, Sammy here with the open now here to 325. Trey is going to come along with deuces. And the action continuing flowing. Bones off of the straddle. We'll see a price of 225 more. Reasonable with King 4 of diamonds. DQ is just got to go buy us some subscribers. I think maybe that's what's going to happen next. I do not advocate for that. I've always wanted to have a clean path. Not buying anything is going to be completely fresh, real audience, but on the other hand, you can get tossed some awesome super chats. So if all of you guys can just, make like, everybody in this room made like 25 other YouTube accounts, we could just get that little bump up so it can flex his muscles here. So David Pratt says here, have my fake super chat, $500. $500 of fake money. It's all made up and the points don't matter. All right, it's the 25 and the 50 out. Yeah, I mean, me too, DQ. We're almost there. Maybe we need a DQ telethon subs for Mikey night on Live at the Palms. We'll just hang out for like an 8-hour cash stream until we get the numbers we need. You might think subscribing to YouTube doesn't mean anything, but little Mikey here has had a dream all his life is to make the greatest live stream ever created. It's going to take time, and we want to be able to support our boy Mikey. So subs for Mikey tonight is trying to raise the cause to help get Palm Social over 1,000 subscribers. Maybe we could get, one of those evangelical preachers on and shit, I think it would be very entertaining. David Pratt saying I'm still working on getting a few thousand North Korean accounts to sub. Hey, keep a hush on that. Get this, NSA bugging our fucking live stream. We do want to give a shout out here to the great leader and everybody else. Also, NSA agent Andy. Andy, a big fan of the show. So NSA agent Lorraine really does some great deep ops stuff. I commend the work that she's doing trying to keep this country safe, but also gets assigned to listening to this live stream. So DQ2, here's account 2. You're the man. All right, Sai here with the open with the hijack with ace king. Sammy, with a hand to be determined, is going to make the call. Now 5-ball here on the turn. Nothing. Not a squidoosh. Sammy here with a bet call. Let's do it to the river. It's going to be the 4 of spades. So the action tracker is saying Sammy has got to have the best hand. And I don't know how, but it knows. David Pratt says Mike, you should set up a PBS telethon phone bank, free tote bag for every sub. Yeah, I got like a Palm Social t-shirt. Like a chip protector. Those are all the rage now, apparently, but... Yeah, a chip protector, let's see, maybe a scarf, a mask. No, I don't want to get too political there, but... I think I've let that cat right out of the bag. Next hand. Ladies and gents, Mr. P. Man, that lineup could really use Pierre. Yeah, you know, I was thinking about that earlier. I was like, you know what, why is Pierre not in this lineup? Unreal. If not, at least for the thumbnail. Scotland here with a raise up to 10. He's going to come out to a pair of 9s. Fox here with middle pair going to make the call. Is not really improving much here to the 4 of spades. So Scotland way far ahead. Could opt at in an iffy spot. Many times Fox could have a Jack X here, but I think we've seen Fox also tend to take the lead with some of the more medium strength hands. Check raise with some of the stronger ones. So I think Scotland operating on the assumption that, okay, either draw or second pair. 5-ball on the end, so Scotland's pair of babes, pair of 10s. Is going to be good here on the end. Yep, so we need some diversity. We really didn't hit the Italian demographic here, so you know, we're a very inclusive place here at Palm Social. We want everyone to feel included and feel welcome. DQ3, last count. That's why he's one of the best in the biz, folks. But yes, more subscribers. Maybe we will start a PBS telethon. We'll call it the way. Yes, sir. All right, we've got the 50 straddle on for most of the night, and JC now picking up ace king. Gonna bump this up to 250. Shy out of one of the straddles will call for 200 more. So, well, open at a straight draw here for the raggedy 9-7. This could get expensive here for JC. Bet at 325 is JC with the nut no pair. Check your calling up to 1.2. And let's try the turn. It is going to be an improvement now for JC. Top pair, top kicker. Sai here. Potentially check back to realize all his equity. And the river is not going to be blood. It will not be Max Payne. Top 2 here for JC. Sai. would only have a move if he tried to raise off a JC, which we would see would be devastating. So just devastating as JC praying for some value, but unfortunately I don't think that train is coming home anytime soon. PBS Telethon, Jerry Lewis, a couple of ladies, says David Pratt. DQ3 is all you got to do is get Psy on tilt and then ask him how to play Baccarat. Mr. P, do you guys track VPIP? Yeah, we, I believe, have the ability to track all the stats, but trying to introduce those has apparently been an issue, so I'm hopeful we can run more stats, plus minuses and that kind of thing, but I will see what we can do. Kevin and Sarah Groddick saying JC playing great tonight. Alrighty, we've got Bones in the open here to 150. Sammy, not wanting to play the 7 deuce. Unbelievable. Alright, we've got what looks like Bones was going to be up against the 2 pair of Psy. And after the ace comes, there's no further attention from Bones. So that shall do it for that one.
Keep going.
Ugh. Yeah, let me see if I can talk to the production team if we can get any of that stuff included here.
Oh, free play. I don't see a play. Go, Kamara. Run. Run. Hold on to that ball. 7-yard pass. Winston out of the way. Okay. There we go.
All right, it is. I know Pierre's probably watching the seat list here to see if he can pop on into this game. And you can check that out on Poker Atlas. On the Poker Atlas app, you can get an idea how to get on the list in these games. I wonder if I saw Westlake out there, so Westgate.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?
Do have players waiting on the list? All right, we've got Jesus, like 5-way action. What would? Let's see if we get any blood out in the streets. We had a tough like Ace King versus tens when Trey flops a set. Scotland had Ace King, and yeah, they're just kind of designed to lose your money in that spot. So beyond that, some pretty decent hands here and there, but not a ton that I was sitting there going, oh shit, oh snap, not quite yet. So. So 5, 10, 25. We've had the healthy dose of straddles. Again, want to invite you out here to Thursday as our free roll running here at Palm Social. We're adding $1,500 to the prize pool. I mean, we are not just... That's not a guarantee. That's just what we're putting on into that bad boy. Thursdays here at Palm Social. Your chance to cash in on some good value. Also, new members, if you've not played here before, or it's been quite a long time since you played at Palm Social, again, we will set you on a free 3 hours on us and free 2-month membership. We've got the ace-high flush draw going to be happening here for side. JC has whiffed on this, but not going to be picking up much of a compelling turn card either. Seven will give him ace-high, so Cy way good on this, and they have a very anticlimactic. I think we see Tad getting a massage there from Texas Royal Touch. I don't mind saying his back. I don't think that's offensive, but we'll keep going here tonight. Again, hit like, hit subscribe. We appreciate all your guys' support here for the channel. And I just, all I wake up thinking about is like, can we get to 1,000 subscribers? Can we just get to 1,000 subscribers? And I know we can get there soon. So JD here with a raise up to 150. We are also going to get, looks like a 3-bet out of the straddle by Trey. All the way up to 450 with the 8-5 of, 550 with the 8-5 of diamonds. And Pratomatic making a good point. This is a family stream. Nobody needs to see their back getting massaged. Now, that is pretty taboo even for poker streams. Every once in a while, you'll see a dude that just literally will not care. I'll just take his whole shirt off regardless if it's, he's like 280 pounds plus and 50 years old. Like, once you get to that point and you just stop caring, I mean, that is a blissful place to be for that individual's perspective, but for everybody else, it is utterly terrifying, but that is the cost of greatness. All right, we've got a pair and a flush run out for Trey and a gutter ball for Sammy, but I think this price is going to be too expensive. I think he would love to try to be able to hit the gutter ball, but not going to happen tonight. Get Mike Yembler with you here on the call, commentating tonight. Solo broadcaster, live at the Palms edition. Yeah, we keep churning out episodes 2 to 3 times a week. Be on the lookout for future Saturday streams that may be coming up. But typically, you can bank on Mondays and Wednesdays. Palms Social, the place to be. And literally like every moment of every other day. That, in my opinion. Very biased, of course, but I'm trying to find a spot to live here, but they're saying I'm not allowed. All right, we've got our first webcam spammer here in a while. So that's how you know we're getting some progress on the channel, and even they're starting to pop up. So, damn bots. All right, queens and jacks. JD here with 2 pair. And unless Sammy has a hand... Okay, so Sammy apparently does. Not been able to get a read on his cards, though. Sai is going to at least be able to have the 8 of clubs available. Now we see Sammy. Well, he's got queens and jacks, but the ace of clubs not going anywhere. Now up here to 3.1K. Off to the river. We'll probably most likely go... I mean, maybe Sammy can hunt for some Valiant, but I feel like he's going to just go check call on Sai. Sai hoping ace high might be good enough to scourge a little bit of the pot, but it is not going to happen. It's your boy Sammy. Able to get that pot pushed to him for about $3,100 on Monday night. Live at the Palms from Palm Social in Austin, Texas. Check us out here on the Tempest Portal app. Oh, no, excuse me, not the Tempest Portal, the Poker Atlas app. Jesus, my mind is getting... Kevin and Sarah Groddick, solo commentating, hardest job in the house. And, like, I try not to get caught up in the comment sections, and I read a little bit on the Bart's audience, and they're just like, I don't like this guy's voice. I don't like this guy's voice. It's like, okay, well, I mean, you're deal with percentages. Some people absolutely love you. Another percentage fucking think you're the worst thing ever. And, you know, there's everybody else that doesn't really have any opinion. So I just kind of found that funny when you get introduced to a new audience and you get people that probably sound like fucking Kermit the Frog. Going, I don't like this guy's voice. And it's like, bro, it's okay. I will give you a hug. Okay, mixing in Mike Rounders live. Hey, that's progress. You've attracted the webcam spammers. Street Fighter, I'll chat with you. Just looking to try to chat with. All right, is what? A fucking 3 on the end. So a wheel here for Sai, Sammy. Ace high is going to be decent. Sai here with the winning hand, unless I'm not... There's probably a number of times Sammy might make a curiosity call, but I would probably bet he folded there, so... Thanks, Kevin Sirgrodic. David Pratt, I think people underestimate how insanely hard it is to be entertaining by yourself for 4 hours straight. Oh, yeah, well, especially, like... when there's such a massive amount of YouTube poker content, be it live streams, be it vlogs, be it just live events happening all at once, that, you know, hey, you got a lot of choice out there, so the demand to be, you know, very entertaining, to try to fill up enough space and also let the game breathe a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and be like, the hardest job ever. You know, I'm not an oil worker, man. It's no manual labor, but all I'm saying, it's a different demand. It's a very different demand than some of those kind of things. So probably a few people out there like, Mike, are you gonna break your shoulder, pat yourself on the back, and yes, I will. Goddamn right I will. Okay, does... We move on. Live at the Palms Monday night. Here it does. Follow us, Palm Social 512. On the Instagram. We got to get our Twitter and our Facebook a little more active, so working on that. I feel for Scotland. He's not been a pretty splashy player, but This is not really an easy table to just try to go fire into. And Sammy now here with the raise up to 125 side, gonna make the call. Oh, good gracious, side. Flop it a straight king high, but they redraw to the straight flush. And we've got action. Bet and a call. Sammy is apparently having trouble scanning his cards tonight, but flush turn, side checking it. The ace on the river maybe opens up some doors here for side now to go on the attack. Side's going to show it. He'll raise it up to 730 or so. I would probably venture to guess maybe. Oh, what the hell would Sammy have? He would probably some two-pair candidates there that could get there. That would maybe call the river raise in that spot. So Sammy going to make the call. Well over a 2K pot for side. David's also saying it looks like Roger's been basically card dead all night. Yeah, it seems that way. I think he's had a ton going on that. He had a set versus a flush draw, and Fox actually gave it up on flop, which surprised me, but. He could have had a moment to be opportune, but Jeff did not take the bait, was not interested in drawing against that, so. All right, what are we at on the sub count for Mikey? 856. 856 subscribers. Colin Roundtree could just have a 10. It's possible. I'm trying to play guess the hand. It is there's always like a 25% of hands I just totally fucking just not remember it at the time. So, okay. Saw here for the open with a couple of the Houston Rockets. Well, they're not quite rockety anymore, but a couple of ones is going to be the worst kind of flop for aces you've ever seen with ace of spades, ace of hearts. Jack, 9, 8, all clubs. Existence is pain. It is just pain. So Sammy, with no hope at this, takes the lead at this. JD here with a pair and a straight draw. Also going to be third to enter. And Fox with the weakest draw of the bunch will step aside. So King 10. Yeah, I reasonably could believe that as well. So trip 9, here with a straight draw for JD. Size hand continues to shrink. As aces on this board. Understandable from his spot, he could still feel like he's up against a lot of 10Xs. Potentially just the ace of clubs. Maybe king 10 with the king of clubs, but we see JD is way ahead and but not interested in building this pot up yet. Just 3 clubs on board. So we will go heads up to the river, $3,200 right in the freaking middle. And whammy, it is going to be a straight here for JD. So more reasons potentially for side to be able to back out of this. Bet of 1,000, and we will get a call. It looks like here by JD, so he's going to take a $5,200 pot with the river straight. It's tough one for side. It's the worst potential board you could ever see for aces, and you're kind of stuck out in no man's land. The George W. Bush Center for Intelligence. I came to watch Bart play. Well, you've come to a place where we may see Bart Hansen more in the future. Hope to get Bart back, because You could, if you missed those hands, you could check out the ones on our highlight reel that popped here today. Also featured in the Crush Live Poker channel. But pretty much a lot of the hands only Bart was in. So maybe there's a couple other more I can add to the mix here as. Street Fighter saying hopes inside doesn't start steaming. I don't know if it's at that point there. It's. But you guys may have a better history of seeing side. Like, I don't watch the stream up north. I don't know. I just. Nothing against them. I just, once you're insulated in poker streaming content, like, there's just only so much of it that I want to watch. Regardless, you know? Like, it's just. I'm a lot like you. A little picky, a little choosy. But I've always been a little bit more of a centerpiece of that beast up there. So ace king and 9-7 Trey here with the call up out of the straddle. Sammy with ace king. Yeah, I don't know Sai all that well, but can't say that I would pretend to. So I got no impression, but David Pratt saying that felt more like a blocker bet for me. I'd probably align with that line of thought. You're just kind of being put in a really shitty position if your opponent bets river. Knowing that even if he just has like ace of clubs or king of clubs or some kind of jack X hand, or just painted into and backed into a wall that. I guess I would probably, yeah, I would rather take Sai's approach to bet river than check call, but yeah, if we're the experts, we can see the cards after the fact, so. I'm going to have to agree with the old Pratomatic there. That could be very well what that was. So we've got JD with some rockets, some bitcoins, some Teslas, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. We've got to find more creative things to call aces these days. All right, Scotland here with 5-4 of spades. Those are good ace wreckers, but going to come out jack high with 2 clubs. I think Sammy was also here in the mix as well. We will go bet raise in this jack high board. Sammy being put in a tough spot here. It's all right. 10 ball turns after Sammy does make the call. So I would venture to guess it was probably Queen Jack. King Jack, potentially clubs, potentially Queen 9, King Queen, 8 9. Bet a call is will bring us right here to the river. 5 of hearts says. Sammy checking, so JD with a chance to maybe extract some more value. Potentially check this one back in case Sammy's maybe trapping with trip 10s, which is not all the realm of possibility, but without knowing, this is... Yeah, more likely he has jack axes. He gets called instantly as 1,700 is going to be good here for JD in this spot. So big hand, and it looks like we never really did see what Sammy had in that spot. It was instantly mucked, and JD now going to be sitting with over 15,200. Have a good night, straight fighting man. Joining us in the chat, saying he's got to head out. And appreciate you stopping on in. So we are getting a healthy dose of 510 every Monday here at Palm Social. So you can keep expecting this is what we will keep bringing the heat with on Monday night.
I just found out today. I think I'm not sure. Like me and my wife bought our house 15 years ago.
So we got Sammy raising up to 175 downhill, going to make the call with Queen. A 3 of clubs, and going to flop a pair and a flush draw here for downhill. Top pair for Sammy. All right, so downhill up into putting the raise to 1.2K. Sammy would be left with just under 4,000 if he decided to call here, which would just build this pot up. Oh, might be like 2.8. So downhill, stack the pot ratio to 1 after this. So Sammy is going to have to make this decision in mind with realizing that he's probably going to have to go the rest of the way with it. So he's comfortable doing it. We're going to do it 2 times. Pair and a flush draw versus top pair, king kicker. Relatively even equity split. Boom. Is a J-ball and a 4-ball. That is Brick City Knights here for the Queen 3. Dub. Little hope for Queen 3 is not going to happen. King 9 survives both boards. An $8,200 pot. And Sammy survives. And downhill had a pretty good shot at it, but just not able to make it there on the end to catch up. So too many outs. Just too many outs.
Get him! Get him!
Join us again here for 2-5 PLO on Wednesday nights. Start that about 7 o'clock. A good 3.5 hour, 4-hour live stream. Full of the craziest Podlum and Omaha shit you have ever seen. So we invite you to check that out. Give it a shot. Hopefully have that highlight reel from last Wednesday's game, though, was just absurd. I think like there's like a 6-way all-in for like a 20K pot. Just sick, demented, deranged, degenerate kind of stuff. So we've got JC here with a raise up to 25. He's been quiet lately and just wanted to splash on in and gets immediately 3-bet out of the small blind with Scotland with kings. Fox had flatted with pocket nines, and Sammy will have position on everybody with the ace deuce of hearts. All right, $2,700 pre. I see an ace. I see maybe a king. I'm trying to load up our board here as... Okay, it is a queen, so... Scotland's night of not much fun continuing. Board pair is 7, so... Roger can sometimes assume maybe there is no ace-X is buried in this mix. But I think he's going to get a call from Sammy for sure. I find it very difficult after a flop check back that Sammy's just going to give up ace king or ace deuce this easily. And Fox maybe not interested. Okay, I think he is still deciding here with bet of 775. Sammy gonna make the call. Roger, aka Scotland, is gonna have to hit a king on the end. It will not happen.
Did y'all see that? That's a technical. Did they give him a flag for that? They're trying to get Seattle to come back and straight personal foul. Oh my God. Mark is still sour about that 84-yard touchdown.
Ace is up here for Sammy. Scotland, though.
He held on too long, Gino.
And we're going to go check here on the end. So that's a decent winner there for Sammy. Gets to get himself all the way up to 12.1K.
I'm buying in 20K after this hand. Or going home. Oh, got him again! Whee! What is it? 315, sir. Don't forget about me.
It's all right. We're going to do a dealer change. And hey, we're going to have Iris coming on into the streets to deal. Here on Live at the Palms, Monday night is all right here for poker action. All right, I got to check on this football game because I have been just focusing only exclusively on this game per se. What's happening here? Is it a shitty game happening? It's 10-7 Seahawks or 10-7 Saints. What in the hell here? Okay. All right, next hand here tonight. Make sure to hit like and subscribe.
Dude, Marcus Lattimore and Derek Metcalf. That's all I had. 4 cards.
And we are going to power through just about 2 more hours here of the live stream.
Lattimore and DK Metcalf.
We'll see what action we have in store for us here tonight.
Look at him go line it right back up, too. They're like, get some more. Thank you. You had a pair? I had a pair and a straight draw. I just had a pair of 8s. Oh, so did I. You had a pair of 8? I had 7 8. I mean, you should have called then. I should have.
So, all right, we have got Fox raising up to 325. Cy going to make the call here to 325. JD could be in 3-betting mode out of the straddle. With Fox's open size call, could invite him, try to go up just a little bit higher. I could see him going 1,200 if he wanted to, but base point of the unsuited variety, electing just to exercise some pot control. With he's got a ton of chips, and I imagine Cy's probably got more than what he has here, but nobody hits us, though. Fox is going to get the gift of attack mode, and I think it should be good enough to muscle out to other players in this spot. Take a moment to breathe here, and all of a sudden come back. We got a 3-bet with pocket sevens up by JC. Cy maybe will be all in. I guess if he's really that short. Potentially, yeah, we may just have sevens versus ace jack for whatever Cy has left. Is going to come out queen high, 2 spades. Queen on the turn and no improvement. So 2 pair on the first board now for JC. Not going to come out to straight draw, and JC's got the 7 of diamonds, so that is going to turn Cy's hand to dust. His last 650 will be pushed over here to JC, and I think we're going to have a seat open. I think we've got a seat open here now. So great action here tonight at Palm Social. Again, you can find us on the Poker Atlas app. Appreciate all you guys looking us up, hitting us up with your likes and subscribes, your hateful comments. You suck, dude, talking. You're never going to make it. I will make it. Okay, in all seriousness, no, folks, we will stream Mondays and Wednesdays, the occasional Saturdays. Be on the lookout for that, so turn on notifications, click subscribe. Preston Burke says, let's go JC. David Pratt saying this stream needs a French dude. And Kevin and Sarah Gradick, great play there. I took a moment just to take a breath out of the studio. And come back, all of a sudden there's JC. And Trey getting it into the middle. All right, downhill with a raise up to 150. JD going to make the call, and let's see, how long are we going now with Fox? Okay. Solid night here for Fox. He's, I think, played the right tempo and speed for this game, while still kind of including some of his whimsicalness. Mr. P, do you need help in the booth before I get my seat? Pierre? Yeah, well, why the hell not? If you want to come back here, I've got a seat open. We can get you and your expertise. Finally get like a real accomplished player's opinion instead of just my rambling nonsense. All right, Fox, bottom pair, downhill will... I guess, yeah, it looks like he's going to fold the ace-9 offsuit. I had stepped out there into the future, and I'd seen there was a seat taken already by a young goat. Oh, there, you're already here? Jesus. God, you got here fast.
I was playing the 1-3. I was like,
oh, okay. Well, all right. Yeah. Here's the microphone to speak into.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
We'll continue on 5-10. I mean, literally joining us back here in the Palm Social booth. Pierre, how's it going, man?
Hey, how are you?
Not bad. This has been a pretty entertaining game to watch. You've been chat proing it up, but what have you thought so far?
Yeah, it's always entertaining at the Palm. Always good action.
I wanted you to accuse them all of being too nitty, or just, you could have brought a little more anger in that, but that's a diplomatic.
Hey,
that's a diplomatic and good
It's
answer.
my first time in front of a mic, so I'm just
really like first time ever.
Ever, yeah.
Okay, well,
I'm a boot virgin. All right.
Well, time to pop your cherry here, sir. It's not that difficult. You just start rambling, and you just keep going until the voice in your head tells you to stop.
We can do that.
All right, so we've got Trey opening to 175, Fox with a 9-7 off. Sammy also going to come a hold of the straddle. 9 high, pair and a straight draw for Fox. Trey and Sammy have just fucking completely missed this.
Yeah, this is a pretty puke spot for Trey. This is a board you can never really continue, especially with like dangerous players like Fox. Lose dangerous.
You feel like this is a board that's always going to hit a hand like Fox or Sammy than it is going to try to coordinate with yours.
In general, I just take these boards always on the cautious way. I don't. You don't really want to, even when you have like hands like aces and kings and queens. This board really smashes the straddle defense.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that hand side got into with aces, where it comes out Jack 8-9 all clubs, and then it pairs 9 and then 7. So it's just death for overpair.
Yeah.
So do you have a seat? Do you have the next seat after the young?
Yeah, I'm first up on the list. I was just playing poorly at the 1-3. I figured I'd save some money.
Yeah, we were trying to get some money off our good friend David Pratt here. We're gonna get Pratt back.
Pratt will come. I will go back to this.
I can't believe it. Like he's got to be responsible and stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get Pratt in the booth here one of these Mondays.
Yeah, we got Westlake joined.
So that's just
The
another
game.
element of fun and terror, I think, to add to this mix. Is they always fearless? Okay. So again, that 1-3 still going. I think we've got 2 players on the list behind.
What are the blinds right now? Oh, they playing with the live 50?
Yeah.
Okay, so Bones pretty standard open on the button.
Bones finally getting a chance to open in position. I think he's got like one of the hardest spots on the table.
Yeah, having players like Jeff and JC on your left, it's never fun. Very aggressive players. There you go, Westlake. Welcome to the table. I think Westlake is incentivized to have
Almost.
a wider range here to 3-bet with, do the Sammy calling.
Yeah, and it may not even matter what Westlake had. He could have had King Jack, King 10.
Yeah.
And that's what seems to be happening in all these big straddle games is there just gets to be so much that the blinds and straddles have a lot more incentives to just say, okay, well, nobody has to have anything here. I can just pick this up if I want to.
Yeah, the 3-blind games are add a really interesting dynamic. 3-4 blind game. I mean, usually this game is at least 3 blinds. Sometimes it gets to up to 4 blinds, and
Well, you had
and counting.
well, especially that last Monday's game. We had Bart here. We had Fred Flintstone. I don't know his like actual name, but that might still be his actual name. But
Yeah, I know his actual name, but I don't know if he wants people to know.
If he doesn't want to, I'll.
Yeah. Oh, that was a pretty interesting, crazy game.
You had the big hand with Bart towards the end of the night because I think we're doing a chip count here on Westgate so that we know precisely how much we can put into the action tracker for him. And then we can account for all the goodness that maybe, it's very hard for him to spread the wealth, and it's tough to get chips off that dude, but they got to cooler him pretty good. But you had the ace queen versus Bart that went. Okay, trying to recall the action. So Bart opens off the straddle. You 3-bet.
It was somebody open Bart 3-bet and I cold 4-bet with ace queen suited.
Yep.
Then he calls and check calls flop, check calls turn, and river check.
Yeah. Then that was. We'll get back to it because we've got multi-way and Westgate's frothing at the bit to do something. No, he'll fold. It was really compelling because it came out like Jack 8 blank 2 diamonds. Then I think
Turn
8 turns
and 10 river.
And 10, and it's just sort of like 10s could be there potentially that would be calling that straight. That I think if it comes like a 7, a fucking. 5 deuce, anything that's a non-diamond that coordinates with his hand, like.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he had probably the only hand that would have folded to my jam. Like I don't think he's ever folding aces when he has aces or kings or jacks, obviously, or 10s.
Yeah, when I was talking with Bart before he was doing the Hustler show, that I was just like, he just thought that was the most interesting one out of. Like, damn, that's makes for interesting deep stack poker. Even if it goes check on the river, it was still. Is there a real right move? No, I mean that's a fun part of the game.
Yeah, I'm sure he will make some content out of that hand. It was a interesting spot. It was like
it was Bart that made the content. I just pressed the post button.
Oh
he
yeah,
he did the video.
Oh, he did. I didn't even
see
it. Yeah,
it does work too.
That'd be interesting to watch that. Yeah, it was a $20,000 pot just without the river shove. Like, I had a potential 40K pot in the brewing.
All right, we've got Sammy here with a pair of 9s best, Fox betting river, so Sammy not interested in folding. And it looks like a pair of 9s, way good. Well, how you been, man? Like, you've just been out grinding, been traveling at all?
Yeah,
Or are you
no.
sticking it mostly to the local
just,
side?
yeah, just trying to find good games that, good no limit games that run and follow the action. And yeah, it's been good. I really enjoy playing here in Texas, and especially at the Palms.
It is. I mean, it's
a
a
very,
comfortable environment,
very,
nice
very
place to
friendly
be.
environment. Feels like a home game when I play here. It feels like I know people. It's very warm, like not like temperature warm. Like,
Yeah, not like. Yeah, I think maybe it could maybe like a misconnotation, like it's like a home. But I mean, it's a little more cozier. That doesn't quite feel like you're playing in a massive Walmart or something.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you know, intimate feel. Like it's a more calming environment, but it's. Yeah, hey, it's still one we're trying to build up more of the player pool.
Service is great. The dealers are great.
Oh, wow.
The management is great. Yeah.
Live stream improving. Yeah, like we're getting there. So all right, we got Bones with the raise with King Jack.
Yeah, we got a pretty standard Bones open. And Fox here, I don't think he's gonna let this one go. He likes the position, and he has some wheel draws and an ace and a dream. Oh, Scotland could get aggressive here. Oh, he decided to just flat. I think that's fine. You know, you can mix this hand flat 3-bet. I lean more towards 3-bet, but
Yeah, I was gonna say it seems like Scotland's not been having the quite full capacity to go into attack mode here tonight. And he make it out easily because of this. So bottom pair for Fox. Scotland only with backdoor. Oh, accidental expose, and I think that will probably do it even more so here for Scotland. David Pratt in the chat. Palms is the exact opposite of, quote, this place absolutely used to be a Blockbuster Video vibe. Yeah, you probably have you been around enough to know what Blockbuster Video here was?
we have Blockbuster in Italy too.
'Cause there are some references that can be a little dated. I don't even know if there's like family videos anymore.
There's Redbox I see still once in a while.
Every once in a while,
Yeah.
like
I don't know how it works, but who uses it? But
they just mark up candy, merchandise, video games, all that kind of stuff. But I think now, with the internet existing, and I mean all the people that stopped renting movies and just started watching poker live streams. I mean, we were a damaging hit to the economy here when we started the other stream, and now everybody else just has bandwagon along and started their own damn live streams. All right, okay, we've got.
They seem to be like the next. The big thing now.
The next big boom.
I think they're great for poker, personally. I think they're great for whatever creates poker content where people can just watch and tune in, and it's just great for the economy, for the ecosystem.
I mean, it's also a really effective marketing tool that it's going to be able to put more top of mind focus, that if people really get opportunities to watch good streams and big games, they're just thinking about you a little bit more than they may not have just mindlessly going to whatever the place they've just been going to, because it's like, oh, well, that's just where I go to. I know Dave. Dave plays at this place, and okay. Not trying to bash anybody, but all right, raise up here to 600.
Unfortunate for downhill, Fox doesn't have a lot much to continue with.
I don't know. Maybe we're missing out and not giving out Palms card protecting coins with cartoon logos on us. I think maybe that's what I'm getting wrong here. That forget trying to put out a good professional product. We just need merch with a caricature of myself, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, maybe that's the strategy I've been missing in all of this. That. David Pratt says, insert dumb joke about, quote, they had blockbusters in France. That is a pretty good one. David Pratt, raising tide, raises all boats and makes room for more fish. Oh, that's the biggest part of it is you gotta still continue to find new players.
David Pratt always bring his sense of humor at the poker table. Really enjoy playing with that guy.
There's a lot of funny dudes here on this table.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we've got about probably, I think, at least another hour, an hour and a half to go.
There's a lot of...
You're just waiting for somebody here to bust their stack so you can get a chance to get in this game.
Yep. Or to win a lot of money and leave, you know?
No, that could work too.
Yeah, it could work too.
Right at
And
the games
it's
after the
usually
stream
never
tend
like
to be.
that,
I mean, that's been the cool part about us seeing, you
Ooh,
know,
downhill flopping good again.
top 2 is going to rattle off here to the 9 of diamonds, and
That could be an interesting card for JC to get creative on. I'd be curious as to what size he uses. 450 looks like.
yeah, Chase is going to try, but
I think downhill is just gonna call this down. I don't think he's gonna just went too crazy with. I think JC has a decent amount of Jack 10 in his range.
all right, 6 ball will not approve.
And downhill is probably gonna check call any size at this point. If I'm JC here, I either bomb really big, make it like 2200. There you go. I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
blocking Jack 10,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just it's way easier for him to represent this, but I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah, it's definitely put him in a really tough spot. He has no blocker for the straight. He could have 9s. That could be just ended up like a cry call, but I really like JC's play here. Anything small. Oh, he bet really big. He made 3.5.
He
Wow.
yeah, enough to
Yeah,
put
that's a really
downhill
good
all
play.
in.
If he bet anything like 2/3 pot or less, it would have been snap call battle out of a downhill hand.
So downhill was done dirty the earlier in the night against JD of running 7s.
Puts him in
On
the
a hand that he
blender.
had no hope on, and now he's put into a really difficult spot. But this time he's got the winning hand.
I think I would have let it go here from downhill, but I would have made a bad fold.
Yeah, he is going to make the call. Well, I think it's like if you've taken the path that he's taken on this, like
Yeah.
you set up to induce the bluff, like I think maybe you're going to get shown 10 Jack or 7-10 sometimes, but maybe Queen 9, maybe a set, but it's
Mm-hmm.
you're not wrong in any sense that it's just against JC. I just feel like this is just the shittiest spot on earth.
It is. I'm not sure what happened pre-flop. I think JC flatted an open or something. I wasn't paying attention, but good on downhill for making the call and great play by JC.
All right, we'll continue here with Live at the Palms Monday night. Hit like, hit subscribe. We are going to keep on barreling into the night and hopefully you remain with us as Wednesday's 2-5 PLO. Oh, what else do we have going on? The quads promo, new member promo. We got to know. I mean, we will help make it worth your while to come on in if you want to play some cash games here. And you can play with Pierre, who'll probably donate a healthy amount back to you. So
Yep. Good rate back.
yeah, it is.
Bones enjoying his Guinness. Looks like a Guinness from Scotland, probably.
It's the guy named Scotland's drinking a Coke, and the guy named Bones is having a Guinness. So the world is a little bit backwards. All right. Fox here has picked up a bunch of primos, and this one no exception. Raised the 150. We'll get call. Bones, just 100 more off the straddle. Let's see what we got here. This gonna come out queen 4-4.
Everybody has a backdoor.
Yeah.
Nobody has anything but Fox, looks like. Trey could just try the... I mean, he's the only one really that could have a 4 here. I think it's a very interesting creative bluff if you're willing to go for it. With the backdoor straight dog, backdoor flush draw.
Nobody's got the gall to
Nope.
try to challenge Fox here, so...
Yeah, and also like Fox is really tough to bluff.
Yeah, and
He-
he's probably more likely to have some like ace 4s for some random 4x.
Yeah,
In some of those spots
I forgot
too,
about that.
It's just like, you're like,
I forgot
oh,
that
shit.
Fox
Yeah,
definitely
you have
has
the hand I was
4X.
trying to represent. All right, Pierre. So what's your backstory? How'd you wind up in poker? How'd you wind up here in Austin?
Oh,
Not that's a personal question, but
no,
worthy of asking.
I started poker like a few years ago just for fun, like most people, and you know, I pursued it.
Yeah.
It seemed to be like
Do you have a previous ambition in life that you're trying to strive for? I know people here that are like nuclear scientists and
and
know,
no, not
yeah, and
really.
they're like-
no
no,
ambitions.
you just that was it.
No ambition. That was it.
No, it's just like
Yeah, no, I started, playing really small stakes online and back in the day, and from there I just kept doing it. And I lived in California for the past like 8 years.
oh,
pretty
okay.
much.
So
Yeah.
that kind of gave you the introduction to what cash games can be like, and
Yeah, I play cash games live games, live cash games, all of my poker career pretty much.
well, I can't imagine why you would want to leave sunny California with all their really good policies and just constant peace and
Yeah,
fair tax. It's
yeah. I wonder
definitely
why
seems like your
people
kind
do
of
that.
place from what I've. All right, we got Fox here with the raise up to 125. I feel for it because it probably was once awesome, and now if you're a poker player, it's just there's
Yeah.
a couple of crippling factors that just.
Before COVID, I was in a really good spot. It's poker was great. I used to play in the Bay Area and
Oh, yeah.
San Jose, and yeah, the games are up and running every day. And then COVID hit, and everything is still closed pretty much. Never really recovered.
That's how you found her right here. We got a pair and a straight draw for both JD and Fox, and Sammy's got ace high hearts. Finally, folks, we got some action.
Should have paid attention what happened pre-flop, but
Yeah, well, it's just a raise to 25 and calling for, so no pre-flop 3-betting. That call. 3-ball is not going to improve anybody. Nothing. Sammy, just beats him right into the pot.
yeah. Yeah, Sammy's not going anywhere.
For a second, I thought those were pinks, but those were actually reds. So I was just sitting there like, that's the fastest $1,800 call I've ever seen. But what's going on? Robert Mitchell says, good evening, Mike. Hope you're doing all right out there in the UK. I said it was in quarantine for a while last week. So it's still here, so that's probably a good sign. All right, deuce. 8 with a jack. See, do we get the showdown? Or will Fox go one more time?
Oh, that's interesting. Fox might achieve to have the best hand to call. No way. The best hand to fold and the worst hand to call. But there's no way that Sammy will call here.
Bet at 420. Sammy. Now JD. He could beat hearts. He could beat Jack X. He can beat 7X.
Ooh.
But
Wow, that's a go. Interesting.
Fox has played solidly enough
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
I think if he was on the more wild side.
Any bet kind of it looks like it was. asking for value with that side. So
It's good work. I've
Yeah.
seen Fox play pretty well here for the most part, and I don't know, it's tough. You get in I know certain players have moods swing, and you know you go through different modes where you want to attack everything, and then you get called, and then kind of have to readjust. And I think he's found that pretty good equilibrium to. David Pravis, right? He will get this one through. So, what else? Trying to make sure to keep everybody on in the loop. Again, we had a new highlight reel from last Monday's game, courtesy of Crush Live Poker. Or piecing
I need to
that
check
together, and I just uploaded it here and put a nice thumbnail on it. Still one of the craziest hands I've seen, so please give that a like to pump that on the YouTube streets.
glad I got to contribute.
Yeah, I
To
mean,
the
that you're
cause.
doing your part there,
Yeah,
Pierre.
yeah.
You're doing your part.
Sammy here with a pretty hand. Just decided for the call. Scotland. Easy call with deuces.
Bones could pump this up if he wants to, but I think he just probably knows it's going to happen anyway once he gets to these two fellas.
Punish the limpers, JC. He will get probably 0 folds. Yeah.
Yeah, these are the toughest limpers to ever try
Yeah,
to
yeah,
punish.
yeah.
Like, this is I'm getting punished by punishing the limpers, but
Yeah.
it's
There's some games that works where people just limp and then fold, but
yeah.
this is not one of those.
Those are
games.
called
Yeah.
the greatest games. Where it's just like, oh, okay. Nobody wants to defend. All right, Bones will come along as well. Ace, Queen, 5, and how is it possible for just about everybody to whiff?
Yeah,
I mean, Sammy's got second
Sammy
pair,
can
but-
probably call once. Let's see. I think JC will put a decent amount of aggression in this hand, due to the fact that everybody limped and he could just get to represent those strong hands, strong aces. It would be really difficult for Sammy here to continue, and I think JC is very aware of that.
So JC continuing his story. Sammy not a subscriber to his ideology yet. So we will see if we get ourselves a spicy. That
Ooh,
would have
the
been a set of
deuce.
deuces though if Scotland had stayed.
Scotland. I think, yeah, JC is gonna go for like a 1.8. Oh no, okay. He decides to slow down.
Sammy opting for the safe route, not wanting to get checked raised out of it, and well, whatever JC decides to do here is
It's not gonna work.
No, it's not happening. And to his credit, putting on the brakes here. Also getting a massage here from Texas Royal Touch, some of the best in the biz, for $1.50 a minute. And he's also on his 8th water, according to the chat. So, you know, the well-hydrated, well-oiled machine. And Sammy running hot here tonight, and sitting probably well over 20K at this point, or somewhere in the vicinity of that.
Sammy is very capable of mixing it up when I play with him. He has surprised me a couple of times with hands that I didn't think he could have, but then he had. And
He's
tricky,
great at that.
tricky, yeah,
Just
tricky, unpredictable.
probably the key word there. Just very, very unpredictable to try to get a beat on. And that's what's made him fun for the live stream part. So, yeah, you ever want to go see a hand, go check out the old TCH stream back when, but right before COVID hit, the Berkey stream, the hand that was between him, Oklahoma, and Bones. I mean, it's just One of the crazier ones that we've ever done. And then the world shut down, and we all saw how that turned out after the fact. Okay. Raised to 325. We start talking anymore, we're just going to get our channel canceled. So I'm just trying to put the kibosh on it.
So it looks like the live 100, it's been a thing. It's never big enough, you know. You start,
Never is.
Yeah,
There's
start
always
with
be more.
510,
You
and
never
then
notice that?
let's
Like,
do
it's
around
just-
the 20, and then let's do 40.
Put out the other.
Yeah.
All right, 10's up here for both these players. Map with better kicker. Also, ace of diamonds in hand. 4 ball.
Insta check for Trey. Interesting.
Trey checked that one. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't checking it again.
Yeah, I think Matt got suspicious of his check here. This is a board that generally people tend to bet a lot. Let's see if Trey will get value owned on the river, like the kids this day say, and snap call. Yeah, nothing much to do here. Matt has an easy call.
Yeah, that Matt guy knows how to play this game.
Yep.
It's very tough to do battle without the felt. I think I've only played him once, and it was in an online tournament, so it's not
Matt
quite
Westlake,
as...
yeah. He's
I picked off a bluff, so I felt really smart, but I know in the long run, awfully tough to compete against, but... Alright, Live the Palms Monday night, 5-10, uncapped. You're buying it for as much as you frickin' feel like. And we've had people test the limits of that, and I'm going to guess Matt's stack is probably not accurate according to the action tracker.
What did they say?
I think it was like 2.1, and
It
I'm
definitely
like, that's...
is more than 10.
Yeah, that's... Maybe I misread that. I'm...
Yeah.
Yep, it's...
He's not the type of cat that will buy him for 2,000.
No,
not a
he's-
style.
All right, downhill with a couple of ladies. So raise up to... Off the 100 straddle, what was it, 300?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stand there 3x, and Sammy with this ace deuce again. Oh no, wait, what happened? Oh, somebody folded it. JC.
Oh, he's going to try it, though. Here comes the 3-bet.
That's it's in the charts, you know. Ace 5 suited. Oh wow, Matt has a decision now.
Well, I wonder what the charts say about this.
Yep.
After a $50 straddle and a 100 re-straddle, open,
If
3-bet. He could up. He could. He's
Yeah,
a sick
he's-
enough guy to go 4-bet. So.
Yeah, if Matt goes for the call for bet here, it would be a really not a fun spot for downhill. Facing a 3-bet and a call for bet from the blinds, and he folds it pretty quickly.
Sick.
He folds it really quickly. He must have not played in Westlake for.
And that is not to say Westlake is like going to get very out of line, but he understands these spots that he knows which players are more apt, I think, to get a little more frisky out of the blinds. That Whew. That was a tough one. Surprised to see it, but that is a flex of strength like no other. So the artist formerly known as Westlake is stacking chips, and hopefully we will. Yeah, he's sitting up well over at least 10K at this point, so probably more. All right, so we've got our Thursday free roll. Invite you to come out here and play. We've got our 2-5 PLO stream happening on Wednesday night, and otherwise, if you want to come meet Pierre, you're usually here, right?
Yep.
Most days.
A lot.
Other
For
meetup
sure,
game for it.
Monday, Wednesdays, whenever the game goes, I'll be here.
I'm here every once in a while too, so I'm usually in hiding. So I just come out and deal every once in a while. But Bones full the Israeli Ron hand. Did you watch any of that Hustler game this weekend?
I did a little bit. and it was fun. It was good to see the legends
Yeah.
back together, Duan and Phil Hyvee, and yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
was a
was
fun-
like
it's a fun
I wish
game.
Ivy, you know, Ivy apparently was bored because he didn't have his phone. They wouldn't let him keep his phone on the table, so that may
Yeah.
have been why he was a little disengaged. But I don't know, just to see him out there like that's
And
it's always a treat.
he's probably not used to play micro stakes, so. Yeah, I would assume he's still
Yeah,
very
yeah,
active.
he's probably it's too small of a game for him, even at 200, 400.
Yeah, like if he's still playing the huge game in Macau, which I don't know about.
Oh yeah, that's like 1,000, 2,000
Yeah,
no
yeah.
limit. It's probably gonna be like finally what gets him like somewhat interested. Dwan really went after it. Like the Dwan on Saturday was pretty good. Like that I thought made for some compelling stuff. That was, I think, a little better than Friday. But Friday they had this crazy Mickey guy who was just playing all sorts of hands. But I mean, not that I'm here to gas up another stream, but it was. I mean, it's essentially like a TV show, so it's.
They were getting a lot of views, I think, too, right?
Yeah, they have saturated the market here for the most part, and have put all of our biggest chat pros out in that direction. I thought they'd follow me over here, but, you know, yeah, but what can you do? Can't say I don't blame them. That is a pretty entertaining show, so we just got to keep trying to match what we can do and keep building the stream up over time, and
Oh, baby!
you build it, they will come, so...
Let's fucking go.
This stream has potential.
I do.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a fun action game, and it's big. It's bigger than every other game in town, I would assume.
And I mean, I
Public-
think
public
that's amongst the things that I have the kind of the most hope for is that you have a great room, you have some of the biggest action games, and you know, hopefully we are going to be able to get to a 25-50 game or maybe a 50-100 game sometimes. That
Yeah, I mean,
know,
this,
we
this is
can build up.
essentially a 25-50 game
like
with the
that.
straddles.
Yeah, then that I think we might not see quite as.
Hell yeah, let's go, baby.
As many straddles, but you know, I have been proven wrong.
They never
before.
stop. Yeah, they're no matter how big the game is, they'll always straddle. It's Texas poker culture.
That is Kevin Saragrodic. Hey, I'm here. Like David Pratt, Mike, I'm still here for you, buddy. Hey, appreciate that. I know it's tough. There's a lot of shit out there. There is a ton of good stuff. So
Bones is gonna play this one.
there's got to be a seat opening up here for you soon. There's got to be, right?
Yeah, maybe
Nobody's-
after the stream, people will go out or something. What is today? Today Monday. Not much
Yeah.
to do.
Sometimes Monday night it can go all the way until closing time, and sometimes it might be done until midnight. It just, I don't know. That's all it takes is at least 3 or 4 that want to keep the game going and keep going for a while.
Well, they have margaritas right now, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, that you
Yeah.
know that's a good spot to be jumping into. That's great game
Great margarita,
selection.
by the way. Every time I get that, it's always great.
Jack, we were asking where is that JD fella? Probably very concerned that it might be with Jack's wife. According to Jack last week, like JD is fairly promiscuous when it comes to other players' moms, wives, girlfriends. Nothing's off limits. I can't confirm that. That's just Jack's allegations. All right, 6 ball here on the turn is straight draw for JC. And Trey
Nothing
also
going
with a
with
similar
Bones
one.
here. He has a lot of turn potentials with his hand. But
And he will get a deuce, so 3s and deuce is going to be good for JC. Well, that was very anticlimactic hand. I thought it had some potential, but
Sammy I think, just opted for the flat pre-flop. Just a little trapping. That's what I was saying, though. You never know. He's unpredictable and tricky.
David Pratt saying if you do a 25-50, I might min buy for a single bullet and then wait for a shove. That's entertaining, right? At least for me, I would find that entertaining. You can be the resident short stacker for just the strategic standpoint of like, all right, short stackers in the game. Do you counterbalance your strategy here to not punt off chips to these short stacker? That used to be like a short. That's just like a swear word for a while. Like people would just be so mad online if you were short.
There were. I remember there were short stacking specialists, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They were just make a living. A lot of people make a good living back in the day with short stacking because people weren't adjusting correctly at the time to that strategy.
Yeah, I think you had people probably opening just too wide because they thought they could be Tom Dwan and thought they could just attack everything. And I don't know. It was kind of the time I wasn't really paying attention to poker, but I do remember memes. That's yeah, my skill to the planet. It's like I kind of remember a meme I saw, date it to a certain period of time, but. Alright, so we got our links in our description. Again, Instagram, Facebook, website, and new highlight reel with Bart Hansen in it with some of the big hands from last week's stream. And we hope you check us out. We got a couple of new subscribers out of it, so I know there's still diehards for Texas poker out there. Bump, bump, bump. Alright. Mike Gimlet here, the dude talking with Pierre, the Pierre talking, not French Pierre. Did that happen that people in the chat thought you were French and that's how that...
Everybody thinks I'm French because of my name and my accent.
Yeah. That's a double insult to a degree.
It's a fair assumption, to be honest, but yeah. I'm
no,
Italian,
I mean, we're not a lot of room for nuance in this country if you haven't learned. But we can get somewhat close to the region, but you know.
But yeah, I don't mind. It's all in good fun, you know.
Oh yeah,
I don't mind the
needles.
needles.
Like poor sport about it.
Yeah.
Hey, my last name is JungBlut, so it's just I have a very low expectation of people ever
Getting
country of origin, pronunciation, like you know, it's a very small percentage. Fox here with kings.
With the real hand. That's when he becomes really dangerous. Because he plays so many hands that when he has a real one, it's hard to not pay him off. And I think, unfortunate for him, nobody has anything. Matt could have just turned some more equity, but...
Matt putting on the brakes. They gave him a little window to try to be able to make a bluff at it, and Matt did not bite.
Could be calling this bet, to be honest. Yep, and he does. I don't mind Matt's call here. I think it's versus Fox's wide range. I think he's gonna be forced to bluff a lot of rivers, and I think Matt's aware of that. And it's unfortunate that he had it, and fortunate for Fox. So.
No, David Pratt saying I'm used to the short stack. There's actually some wisdom in that strategy in a small stakes cap game with a rake. Yeah, I think if you're under that environment, like there's probably some moments where
he's talking about short stack.
Yeah, we're just like, hey, if you're in like a 2-5, 500 cap, like, yeah, you could play relatively inexpensively in that game, but it's like that's usually games you will only find outside of Texas where. No, many 2-5 cap games everything's match a stack.
Yeah, so. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yes, it is a cliche that continues to ring more true it's just more true every time you say it. You're just like, okay, yeah, that's. I want to dismiss that idea, but it keeps getting proven every time. That's like, damn it. Give me something contradictory.
Downhill with the flat and Bones. Ooh, hello. It's gonna get some action here for sure. I think they both gonna end up calling this, and
Alright, Bones back at 450.
it went limp. Bones ISO.
Alright, so we'll see if Downhill also decides he wants to come along with this. Fox has called, and
Yeah, I think Downhill is getting a decent price. He's try to flop a set and get in the mix with those guys.
alright, he's made his decision. Probably see his Bones deep enough to go set mining.
Downhill.
Can't tell if that's Illuminati hat or,
Yeah,
I don't know if I really want to talk about it.
he almost flopped the set. I think Bones is gonna get some value here out of Jeff.
So Fox here with top pair going to make the call, and Downhill will be out the way.
He's probably thinking right now, I never flop a set.
That.
That's what his look.
Bones now here at the $2,400 pot.
I think Bones is gonna just keep barreling this.
I mean, I guess maybe there are sometimes you could fear Queen 10, but that's you're still going to have to proceed forward. And
Yeah, this is one of those.
And-
If you have it, you have it type of spot.
Fox could talk himself into thinking that, you know, maybe Bones is barreling twice with Ace King.
Mhm.
Maybe there's,
Yeah, but Bones could definitely have bluffs here.
yeah.
Hard draws.
Uh-oh, don't do it there, buddy.
Oh, he's considering a raise. Oh,
Yes. Wow.
wow.
It was
Very interesting raise by Fox. That's gonna make it really interesting now.
So right now, Fox has got some drinkwitty. Probably some drinks in him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to try to min-raise this turn, which... Bones not deterred by this, but I'm sure the
Yeah.
yellow flag has at least been cautioned.
Yeah, it's one of those spots that you're not loving it, but you also can't fold. Oh, I think he shoved it
They
in.
ripped it right back over the top.
How much did he have? I didn't think that.
Well, he started with like less than 5k, so...
Oh, I see. Okay, makes
he's-
sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
It'd be...
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes being shorter stack, makes their life a little easier. I mean,
Yeah, and then even if he's up against queens and tens, like, he'd still go 3 deuce ace, but as we see... A rip all in, and I mean, from Fox's perspective, the only thing that would probably make this move would be King Jack or Ace King of Hearts on the most
he makes the
spiciest
call.
of days. But Fox is a believer in his hand. He's going to have to hit a 10 or a 9. It is going to be a deuce. And
gonna-
Bones gets paid off with aces, and an $11,100 pot going to be shipped to him.
yeah, GG on Bones.
Yeah, that is weird. His hand might get wrecked there, but only 4 outs for Fox, and
It's hard not to be short stack, not short stack, but like
Right.
not deep when the blinds are so big and everybody's playing no more than 100 big blinds right now.
yeah, and like 5K is not a.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of a medium stack when you start talking about putting out a 50 and 100,
Yeah.
and then you're down to like 50 big blinds, whereas they're just the 5-5 games and 5-10 games where you're, you know, at least 200 plus deep.
Yeah,
and-
generally, yeah. Generally 5,000 will get you a long way, even with the inflation and everything.
Still many things for me to learn about this. Some of these distinguishing differences. But, you know, there are no solvers for 300 big blind poker, as we've always said. There's only so many things charts can do. You got to be able to work the magic as best you can around these streets. Figure it out. Certainly no shortage of straddles here tonight. Jesus.
Sammy wakes up with the Grexys. Is that no? Wait, I'm butchering it. There's like a guy I used to play with. They used to call the pocket nines the Grex.
Oh, the Gretzkys. Yeah, the Gretzkys.
Yeah. It's
The
like
JJ
football
Watts.
players. Yeah.
I think there's some vlogger that gets out there with the Gretzkys. I'm not. It's like you can call sevens to Luka Doncic's. I don't know. Like there's probably all the soccer players have single numbers or. Yeah. Bottom pair, middle pair for Fox. Sammy with a better pair of nines, betting 75. Bet Nicole, and that is a J ball on the turn. So straight draw for both players. Fox is not going to improve here with the 7.
And check. Yeah, Fox seems to have taken a big hit, but still in the game.
Oh yeah.
Sitting on $5,000-$6,000.
And he can spin that back up there pretty quick too.
Yep.
So.
And a margarita still. Life is still good.
I mean, once that happens, you got an opportunity to spin that chip stack up as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Shop Pro Alan Pichatello in the house. Says, sup, Mike. Says he needs some tournament run good. You know, Alan, he joined us for commentary in the PLO game on Wednesday. Stayed a little too long and got kind of reamed by his wife for not coming home early enough. So I just want to recognize this man's sacrifice to put on a good show in the face of an angry significant other. It is a sacrifice to sometimes be in this chair. So hopefully you've recovered your spirit as a man. David Pratt says, I feel morally obligated to correct Pierre. The great one was a hockey player, not a football player. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. You're going to get some angry Canadians here in this chat if they catch wind of that. Nothing. Sammy with 8s.
Yep,
Fox,
Sammy's
nothing.
might have probably call here and.
Alan says, I've been chewed out before. Well, I mean, I still empathize because I don't ever get to, because people love me enough to not yell at me anymore. Okay, I'm just all kidding aside. Yeah, we're going. 9 ball on the end. 9's full of 8s.
Oh, he went check on the turn. Okay. Downhill could have just barreled this turn if he wanted to, but I think ace queen could have also some showdown.
Yeah, and that's in some spots for sure.
Yeah. You don't want to go too crazy in those spots because Straddles is going to have a lot of 10x in his range, but reasonable.
All right. Next hand before we wrap up the night here eventually does make sure to hit like and subscribe. It does seriously help. It helps. I know you're just thinking I'm one person. What the F difference does it make?
Yeah.
Banging home that like button just feeds the algorithm, and in the algorithm we trust. My life is just dictated by algorithms, and I do not want to make it mad. I wish to make it happy, but we do need that audience response to just boom. Bo in the chat saying, I heard this JD cat makes Charlie Sheen look like Joel Osteen. Now, I've heard that too.
Yeah, JD is definitely a ladies' man.
Well, yeah.
So is JC. All these guys, you know, young
Pimps is,
Yeah,
that's-
all these young cats.
That is the great game. It's not Pot Limit Omaha, the great game of ladies. All right. Pair in a straight draw. Hopefully my girlfriend's not listening. Okay.
She's not.
No, she's not. She does sometimes, but she's not busy. She does some. She goes to a different school than this. So, okay.
Can I take a photo of this microphone?
Yeah, go for it. All right, Ace, King, Jack, Fox here with 2 pair on this board. Looks like absolute hell, so everyone will check. And that's good. David Proud is a native Midwestern. Hockey is almost as important as it is for our friends up north. Like, I grew up in Iowa, just not quite close enough to get the bug, but for all the Minnesotans up there that fucking love the North Stars and the Wild, the Gophers, the Badgers, we're out there in Michigan. You know, it's a lot of deep-rooted value here to the great game of hockey.
Hockey's fun. I watched a couple of live hockey's game in the San Jose Sharks when I used to live there.
Yeah, Sharks games would be super
Yeah,
fun to
they're
go
fun,
to. Like
yeah.
here,
It's one of my favorite live games that I've seen.
people like going to the Dallas Stars minor league thing here that's out in Cedar Park. I've not been, but yeah, I mean the unanimous opinion, way more fun to watch live than it is to just watch on TV. And I still love watching the Stanley Cup playoffs during the postseason, but here in Austin, Texas, you better love college football or go to hell. And we're getting a lot of Cowboys fans getting very high and mighty right now, so we'll see if the winds of shit change for you Cowboy fans out there. The Minnesota Vikings taking on the Cowboys coming up soon. Yeah. So, I'm not making any promises. I'm just saying, like, there's a good possibility the Cowboys get humbled this next coming weekend. Possibly. All right, is Pierre getting a little bit of water? Texas Stars in Cedar Park is awesome. AAA hockey can sit on the glass for $20. Yeah, it's great value. And like same with the Austin Spurs. I'll probably catch some Austin Spurs games just because got a couple of guys that are going to be fun to watch. So for my hoop sets out there, all 3 of you.
All right.
Didn't miss much, so yeah, JC opening to 150. Ford Robert St. JD really has these fellas bent over with their shorts down. It's a very descriptive, I mean, almost a little too descriptive, but I'll allow it. Alright, 3-bet by Matt with 9s out of the big blind. JC not interested in pressing fold.
And easy call for Fox here. Oh, he folded. Okay.
No,
I wasn't
no,
expecting that.
I guess he would have had position, but it's...
I generally when... Yeah, he's not the type of guy to give up easy. But that's the worst flop ever for Matt.
Oh, of course.
I think he's just gonna like c-bet this like 100% of his range. And gotta do a lot of checking on this flop on the turn.
Oh, there you go. Straight here for JC, Broadway, and Matt's Granddad. No frickin' hope.
Yeah. If I'm JC, I'd probably just go about 2100 on the big size. Just when you bet into this board that favors Matt's range, you just don't really want to go small. You're not gonna do a lot of betting here. Yeah, it's just 1.4. Yeah, yes, a little smaller than I.
Yeah, you're not getting anything else out of Matt at this
Not much
point.
to do for Matt.
Chat Pro Allen saying he's 3 from the money in this tournament. And probably some Bitcoin online poker tournament. And second, the big stack on my right in the great game of PLO. Good luck, good luck. There are some people that think that we give them run good when we do a stream. So I just, I'm trying to help people as much as possible. Well, I see some rocks here. Is that Sammy rocking up for the night or coloring up? Might be.
I think
Or
it's,
another
it's a
seat.
color up. It's a color up.
All right, Bones has raised up to 300. Okay, Sam is just doing a color up, it looks like. Tough life, huh?
Yeah.
You get all these chips, you're
Good
like,
problem to
"No,
have."
bring me less. I got too many chips in front of me. That's a modern problem.
Must be nice.
All right, Bones, we'll take it here with nobody there to tell him otherwise, so. All right, we have got our last 30 minutes of the show starting now. As hey, you see the owner of Texas Royal Touch getting a massage from Texas Royal Touch. Beck is getting some maintenance and attention towards.
She is getting high as her own supply.
Yeah, is that allowed? Is that? I think that's
It's the
that's
number one
that's
rule,
kosher in the
according
LMT.
to. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the number one rule according to Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember getting a high off your own supply.
I think it
That's-
was Ice Cube, but
I should know this, but I do not at this point. So
I think it was NWA. Surprised I know that.
yeah, that makes two of us. All right. Come on, wake up with a hand here, anybody. All right, raise up to 150. So 30-minute countdown is on, and we call it a night. All right, comes out Queen Jack. Straight draws for both JC and Fox, and not much for anybody else.
Yep. A lot of nothing.
And we've got another boss in here, Texas Royal Touchy. Maria says totally allowed to get high on your own supply. In fact, encouraged. That's what I was saying earlier, Erica, that they're like, do you ever see dealers get injured? And I'm like, no, because they're always getting a massage if they actually are really, bothered. So I was able to answer that chat pro's question and also promote. So JD makes a 7. And
Scotland seemed to be a table to winning hand, I think.
No,
Oh,
he
no,
flipped
JD.
over something that would seem to me to think that he maybe
Oh.
had the best of it. All right. Hit us up here with the like. Make sure to hit subscribe. We're sitting at about 855 subscribers, so come on.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
In this racket. I just can't get that voice from McConaughey was talking about when he had to get in that role when he's doing the Wolf of Wall Street and the chest thumping. Like they did the first take without it, and then somebody came back to him. I think it was either Leo or somebody. He was trying to get himself pumped up to get into this role, and they redid the whole bit on Wolf of Wall Street because it just looked cooler. So Yeah, that's the guy we should probably get in the live stream soon enough. I'm sure he'd come down here and play 5-10.
Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Might not be able to come down here without a shirt on. It's in my rider. No, that's...
I always wonder how do you guys do those special.
Well, I
special
mean,
effects?
usually
It's
what
like,
what happens is, like, a vlogger will reach out, or we do the same, and they're trying to coordinate with their travel schedules, so they might be playing on one stream, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know, I'm here, I can play a live stream, and there's a lot of different ways. I know each room does it. Okay, we've got Matt with Kings and no action, so generally I know the lodge, like when they're doing vloggers, like they're paying a decent amount to get some of them on, and I know for one TCH, like, I mean, that's not that they had that many, but you know, we at least they always thankfully kept me out of the discussion on that kind of stuff, but it's a whole world where, like, there's people that are great content makers, that have an audience, that have a following, that can yield a little bit of, like, hey, I'm actually bringing something. You know, like, those guys are people and individuals are doing fucking great, but it's a much more wilder world for those that are kind of at the beginning or at the middle, or maybe they don't have the hugest following, so it becomes much tougher to gauge, like, are we getting new viewers out of this, or are we potentially losing money? Too much. Okay, JD's going to open here to 300 off the 50 straddle. Who else? We've got Fox calling. And Sammy, whose cards have not been reading all that well tonight, or... Downhill would be the last one, but he would have position on all these players, so he'll take a chance on this.
Yeah. He'll take his time a little bit.
Downhill with the 250 to call. JD apparently, according to the chat, how many women he'll be sleeping with tonight? Just one? Wow, that's...
Don't believe
Want to go
it.
2 times?
I don't believe it.
Don't believe it either. All right, top pair here for Fox and JD. Nothing for Downhill and Sammy. David Pratt says, don't underestimate the power of putting famous participants of a stream on a poster. All right. Not knocking that. That's great effort, but not my style. I'd rather put them on thumbnails. That looks cool. It's on the internet, pal. That's where everybody is. Okay, all kidding aside, Fox here with the pair of aces. And
That could get costly here for Fox. For sure.
David Pratt says, you know you've made it when you've got a poster. Unless it says wanted
Oh, Fox folded at least.
or missing. But those are the only posters I would not want to appear on.
This Fox just folded a top pair?
Yes!
To the one bet? Wow.
So one bet, he made a disciplined fold here on Live at the Palms.
Mama, there goes that man.
That's, you know, hey, that deserves some applause. That, you know, many players would just start losing money. They do a good job over there. I have no hatred. I'm you know, it's like a byproduct of the excess of the whole streaming community. So, like, I love trolling more than I do love, like, shit talking. So there's no disrespect, but I do. You know, people are more than welcome to make fun of me. They don't seem to have any other reasons to be able to attack my credulous resume. But they do. They do a good job over there. So, all right, 50 call. Limping, and somebody's gonna raise. Is it gonna be JC? What? Is
Scotland
this?
with the
Am I on
sneaky call.
drugs or something here? Did we just get?
Family pot?
No, those may be 2 different questions. Okay, Queen 3-6. 2 pair now for Fox and yeah, not much in the way of draws for anybody else. Bet at 125 is now going to draw the raise, and I think that will probably end this hand right then and there. Yeah, David Pratt is a good sign for the community in Austin that we could support rooms with different strategies and styles. Yeah, like it's... Yeah, I've always hoped for more collaborative effort that, yeah, we keep the tides rising. Thankfully over here, it's not quite as toxic an environment as the last place where it got a little, like, do I really need to be this contentious about a fucking live stream? Like, I'm very proud of it, but I'm also... not here for the team mentality, pure, man. Just here to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh yeah. It's I mean, I literally do this every day. That's you gotta do this every day to have to just think of something to say.
Yeah, I don't know how you're doing it.
I don't know either. I've tried to explain to many therapists I don't understand. Like, where does this come from?
But yeah, no, I mean, it gets
Thanks, man.
credit to you. Yeah.
That's the analyst role is fun. You just get to wait for a moment to add some insight, and if you don't, there's wait for the next moment. All right, board. I see a 3, at least on the right. It looks like. We do get JC leading, so I think it's like 7-3 deuce.
Oh, thanks a lot.
You ready to hop on in that game there?
I don't think so. I think they just my table broke.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So
yeah. Thank you.
Oh, the 1-3 game, bro. Okay, right on. All right, so we've got 7-3 deuce, Fox with middle pair, JC with top pair, and trip 7. So that's Fox is also going to turn a flush draw.
Yeah, that's an interesting card because Fox still have a pair with the nut flush draw with it right now, and JC is gonna.
$750 here for JC.
Yeah.
Fox not folding this flush draw with a pair. You can reasonably assume some scenarios this 3 might be actually ahead too, but
Yeah. If you're Fox, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah. When the 7 hits, it's one of the best card for this specific hand.
So the machine at JC. We'll see a 5 ball on the end.
JC's going for the big one. Yeah, Fox has been pretty disciplined with his folding thus far. We'll see. It's one of the worst hands for him to call with. Blocking his JC potentials diamonds that he was bluffing on the turn with. And I think he will recognize that and just let this one go.
Yeah, I can't see even the loosest call being made here. I'll show it to him. It's like I could have caught up.
Good fold. Good discipline.
Decent sized pot for JC. He's played really well here tonight. I mean, it's been very difficult to find anything that he's done that you're like, well, that was a fucking mistake. Like it's all been pretty right on the nose.
Yep, solid player for sure. I play with him once in a while, and it's always always tough to play against, and always
especially probably when he goes from the PLO game to the Hold'em game, and it's.
Very likable person too. Very fun to play with.
So we got 25, 50, a hundo. Trey, put the 200 out there. Probably sweating the Saints game right now, which is... Alright. Is that over already? Yep, that's over. 13-10. What a snooze fest. That fucking was not good. Okay.
I think Casanova here with ace 10.
Raise to 300 people. Get Sammy and everybody folding. Well, that was very disappointing with the 100 strat along. Hoping to induce a little bit of action. But, alright. So give me links in the description if you want to go check out our website, Instagram, Facebook, all that great stuff. Caitlin usually handles all the social media stuff, so making all the posts and that great thing. And producers Sonny and Q on the action tracker, Sonny on the cameras. Executive producer Sammy Von Kennel out roaming the territory. He's been working around the clock trying to keep building up this room, so I appreciate Sam's work and the whole team's work. Keep continuing to try to make a good live stream. Bump, 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 bump. Come on. Somebody's got to have a hand. It's not going to be Sammy here with the 9 triz. Raise up to 325 out of the small blind.
Oh, Trey continues.
Oh, so yeah, the Niners. Maybe room for Sammy to win this. He has the same gut shot as Trey with backdoor clubs. Bet of 325.
Yeah, interesting way to play the hand from Sammy. I like his flop check.
Now I'm going to turn the club draw to go with it and we'll lead out it. So this might
just work.
Yeah, it is.
That's a very interesting, creative way to play this hand. I think.
Here we go. Then.
I would like to see a follow up here by.
Come on,
by
Sammy,
Fred,
one
by
more.
Sammy. Yeah, and he does, and I think it's gonna work. It's gonna be really hard for Trey to continue here.
Making it look like a value bet here, 975, and it's tough to bluff Trey sometimes, other than other times. And I can't get a good read here on Trey at all, as if he leaning one direction.
He looks like he might get stubborn here, but I think it's gonna end up folding this. Although they have a lot of history, so I am not aware of how well Trey knows.
Yeah, when you play against that, it just becomes, you know, you can understand what somebody's capable of in some of these spots. That
it looks like he wants to call. His hands are on the chips, which is never a good sign when you're bluffing.
Right.
Oh, and he lets it go.
Trey gives it up. Winner with the 9 triz, and he'll show it.
And he shows. Let's go. The disrespect. I like that.
Yes. Make
it's
it
always great
hurt.
for the game.
And we love Trey, but, you know,
Yeah.
we do love content.
We love
just
pain
as much.
more.
All right, we got Brian Held in the chat. Says, Mike, you're a big reason for the other stream success. Yeah, I think to a point. You know, like, I don't think you can cut out all the other people that contributed or still contributing, and, you know, what all the directions it went. Like, it was good to have a solid base, I think, for that stream to, you know, at that point was something pretty brand new, and now there's like 12 other live streams that became a part of it. So that, thank you. I appreciate that, because sometimes, you know, people forget. But it says, Fox with his phone is not a good look. Well, here's the thing. Over here, we're doing a half-hour delay. We're keeping things fairly secure, so it's... Yeah, we did not want to be the phone police on this, because we understand you sometimes want to post memes. Sometimes you want to just feel like JD.
Sometimes you want to talk to the
One of your
chat.
5 ladies, you know? See, there he is in action right now. This is a professional at work. Trying to line himself up, potentially some post-stream tang. Okay. You got ace 4 fake aces versus king 10 of Sammy. Yeah, this is from the chat. I don't know if that's a fact at all for when it comes to our friend JD. All right, bottom pair for Scotland. Sammy whiffing. Scotland with a bet and takes it down. David Pratt, let's not kid ourselves. It was 100% the Big Daddy Chaz laugh soundboard. You mean this thing? I can only do like 4 or 5 seconds of it, but it's still here. We wait for Big Daddy Chaz to come play here at Palms.
Miss Chaz.
Show himself out here in the Palm streets. Probably doing pretty good down there in San Antonio, the way those games are going sometimes. So I'm gonna have to I want to get coins out here as well. Like coins, I think would be fun. I think once we get a little bigger audience, the people love coins.
Chase would be
great.
Great to have. All those guys who used to play there and good people.
That it would be fun, and it's okay.
JC is gonna open up the Queen I know.
All right, JC able to open. What do we? There's Jeremy.
And wow, interesting fold by Downhill. It's a hand that you could just defend your straddle with. Queen 5 suited. Sorry, King 5 suited.
All right. Well, I think we got maybe about 10 minutes or less.
All right, let's see a cooler.
Find another good way to end the night. I'm sure there's just action ready to burst at the seams here. Does Sammy here with the deuce 5. Okay, I like where this is going. Pre-flop razor deuce 5 and the cutoff. Bones here with the suited Israeli Ron is not going to play. And alright, again we are on Poker Atlas. Much easier customer experience. Try to register, get on the list, and all that good stuff. So if you always want to know what's going on here, that is your source to get on the wait list. See what's happening here, get directions, call us at 512-953-8388. Also kind of your way of getting your foot in the door if you want to get on the live stream for some of our games. Is streaming again Mondays and Wednesdays. And I think we may start streaming again on Saturdays for like 1-3 or 2-5 or potentially those stuff in the future. So keep an eye out, hit like, hit subscribe before our night is done. And Sammy trying to drive the action, I think, just for our entertainment.
3 hands in a row now, or 2, I don't know.
I like it.
And nobody wants to play with him.
And what the hell? Unreal. But we will know it's complete when we see the other box come on in, which I think we might still have a hand or 2 or 3 or 4, maybe. If we go unraised. Oh boy. People underestimate how much stamina you gotta have to go from like start to finish too.
Yeah, this is This is hard.
That's why I drank, man. That is why
I should have
drank.
drank before I came here.
That is
Next time. Next time I'll bring you some.
it's so very, like, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I try to explain this to people, and I'm like, I don't think I drink like heavy, but it's like if you ever do a sports cast where you're full speed for like 2 hours, then you do like a poker broadcast where you're hand by hand by hand by hand after 4 or 5 hours, and you're filled up with caffeine. It's very hard to just be like, all right, time to go to bed, and just like, you know, you're just wired. So I'm either the chattiest Kathy after the fact, or I don't talk to anybody once a game or stream's done. All right, speaking of, we got Bones with a hand of Queen 9, 7 deuce 7. JC with Queen 10, and Bones able to just make a simple C bet and a simple fold. Alan Pitch tell us this new episode of Slow Poker. This is my new favorite vlogger that I was tipped off about on a Wednesday. This guy, Slow Poker, plays maybe like 1-3-2-5, but he makes relatively short and actually very funny and clever vlogs. Slow Poker, check him out. I was immediately hooked. And I know, like, I don't dislike vloggers, but this guy was legitimately funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of vloggers these days, and I think that's a great format for of content for poker. People really like to watch those, and any poker content is great for poker, I think.
Oh yeah, it's very hard to do, and it's refreshing to see people that can find ways to keep things new, interesting, fresh. Probably say that twice, but another task that's a lot harder than it looks is, all right, Trey's gonna raise up to 300. Sammy, I know Caitlin's gonna be starting a vlog here soon. I know J1 has had some stuff in the works to release out there as well, so join in the crowd. But if you guys get a chance, check out Slow Poker. It is fucking hilarious. Okay, the bet by Sammy, and I think that is gonna do it here for the most part. And that hand is, don't know how the string of action, but it wasn't very significant. Okay, Sammy won. David Pratt saying, I think just the guys like Brad and Andrew are successful, is that in part they're sort of an everyman. You can imagine yourself in their shoes. Yeah, and a wide enough reach that of the contemporary poker vloggers, they may be the most recognizable versus, I think, the old generation of stars where it was like Helmuth, Negreanu, Antonio Esfandiari, and those guys that were just first to be recognized. And
I think David Pratt should start a vlog. I think it would be really funny.
They are they're some funny dudes. So they make a pretty healthy living that I can see why they're always in a good mood all the time when they're traveling to places. Trey raising up in the hijack, JC calling, and I think we will get Sammy not wanting to play the King 8 out of the double straddle. Plus, they're great guys. Yeah, last hand I ever dealt at the old place, old Brad Owen himself gave me a 20s tip and just said, hey, good luck, man. So, it's like, yeah. All right, he's 5-7 top and bottom here for Trey. JC with nothing.
Yeah, that seems to be what the trend of the night, when one guy has a lot and the other guy has nothing.
All right, so if we see Jeremy coming out here. Otherwise, I think we maybe just have a hand left. And it's all right. Let's hit up those likes before we go. Make sure to hit like and subscribe before the night is done. Brian Helt says Trooper, the OG. I subscribe to him. I haven't watched a ton of his stuff, but that guy like puts out something like every day, I feel like. It's a new Trooper vlog or Poker Beast or There's so many people here I wish had a vlog, but will never ever see the light of day. Alright, Trey with a 6-3 of clubs. Downhill.
Trey's trying to put in some work the past couple of hands.
He's living that Bitcoin high right now.
Yep.
It's just time Bitcoin comes up, he's probably raising a pot with brags. Free rolling.
Spread the wealth.
Yeah. Alright, we got Scotland with
Scotland.
7s.
It's not going anywhere.
There's going to come out a straight draw now for Trey. Gutterball Scotland. I don't know how motivated he's going to be to want to go
Yeah, I think
multiple straights out of position.
Trey's gonna at least like find a couple barrels here with his hand. And
Scotland not folding yet, and maybe a jack. Will tempt fate here as Trey not interested in checking. Not even remotely interested, and kind of makes this look like a value bet.
yeah, when you open those type of hands and you flop some decent equity, it's the only way to win the hand. It's just being aggressive with and it shows.
That is going to be a winner in here for Trey, and that is going to be our last hand of the night, Pierre. Thanks for coming back here and
Thanks.
helping me out.
Thanks for having me. Sorry
letting
for
me ramble around.
Yeah.
If you want to go out and play,
Yeah.
appreciate you coming back
Thank
here.
you very
Shout out producer Sonny, producer and action tracker Q, Sammy Von Kennel, and Mike Youngblood, the dude talking, saying so long, everybody. Come out and play poker here at Palms Social. Check us out, Poker Atlas. Good night, y'all.
You have the best hand. You have the best hand. And then having a joke. The showing it is okay. The showing a bluff is fine. Okay. He just knew the right needle. He's back. All right, go back to.
Puts 10 more down and gets absolute fire. Crazy sets, straights, just absolute fire down there. Quads. Golly. No, kings. I don't know, somebody was saying that you're like fucking girlfriend or something, his mom.
Oh my god.
So they were saying that, yeah.
I want to hear it.
That was funny.
That's gonna crack me up. Fucking dumbass.
How long did you commentate for?
Were you commentating when they said it? 4 high. Were you
Oh,
commentating?
no.
It matters.
Yeah,
It matters, yeah.
You commentated?
And the raise
I mean, that was just a
just in
boost.
case.
Because he was by himself and then no game
With like a shitty counter draw to go with some shitty.
Yeah, sometimes.
One of my friends texted me morning. I just wanted to make pre-custom made.
Yeah. Cleaning up your spot. Somebody was saying that you fucked his girlfriend and wife.
Flip it up. Flip it up.
And I was like, yeah, you pushed it.
Alright. Alright. That is hilarious.
They were talking how many girlfriends.
Alright, try your first.
Deuce of hearts.
Deuce of Hearts is the first bird. Money, sir? Yeah. 400's on. Hey, come. Can I get some check here, sir? Very clear. 5-10? Got it. Courtesy double up? They're available, I promise you.
Oh, I do have to. Yeah, probably. Oh. Yeah.
Sure.
So James Brown had like 19 kids. As he's leaving, trying to take my food with him.
Dan send you the Craigslist ad that he wrote up?
Yeah.
How fucking funny was that?
That's so crazy, man.
It was a little. It was a little.
Cold, really cold.
He beat a dead horse a little bit. Yeah,
there at
it
the
was,
end.
it was a little cringy in a few points.
What happened?